What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome, 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 you guys. So I am doing a live today to go over some more of this P Diddy stuff and this interview with the young lady that has came out to not be telling the truth. So before I bring anybody up or anything like that, we're gonna listen to an interview that she has put out regarding all of this. So I'm gonna give everybody a few minutes to come on in before I start the interview. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Welcome, welcome. Come on in, come on in, come on, y'all. We're gonna listen to an interview that has been released from the victim or victim portrayer, shall I say. And again, like I said, yeah, I do believe something has happened to this girl, and she could even possibly be a Diddy victim. Who knows? But what I don't like and what I don't respect at all is that this young lady, took this young lady's story and ran with it. And now it's cleanup session. I haven't listened to the interview a little. I listened to a little bit of it, but I haven't listened to all of it. And so it is definitely something that we're going to listen to. So I'm going to give everybody a few more minutes to come on in, come on in, come on in. And then we'll go through this. Hey, Christine.
Hey, baby doll. Sorry, just got situated.
Yeah, I'm like, where is the fucking live? I'm like, I just got off the phone
Well, I
with you
just
15
deleted the
minutes
other.
ago.
I just deleted the other one.
And now
It
when
was
I'm like, you want me to start it? You're like, yeah, I'm going to start it. I'm like, okay. And I didn't clean up half my room. I'm like, where's the fucking live at?
well, I put one for 5:10, but I just deleted that one because I saw you were live.
Yeah, I'm not going to wait. Yeah, I don't want to wait. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was. I didn't want to wait five. Yeah, I thought we were starting it when we got off the phone.
yeah, it's okay. We got it
Um,
figured out now.
we got it figured out.
We
And we
got
got it
figured
figured out.
out.
Me and my co-host, we both blonde. How about that?
Let me go ahead and put the link and everything up there.
Yes, yes. So I found an interview from the girl. So I thought we would listen to that a little bit from the victim that has stole the story, which is fucking insane. It's not insane because unfortunately this kind of stuff happens a lot. It's insane because it makes it so much harder for victims. Um, so I'm going to give everybody about 3 more minutes to come on in and pull up because you might want to hear this interview. I'm gonna
Yeah.
listen to what she says, and I'm listening to it with you guys. I found it. Um, another. It's making its rounds or whatever. Um, yeah, I want to hear what she's got to say because this shit's annoying to me, dude.
Well, and that's part of the problem when we deal with things like this, and you have these people seeking attention.
Yep.
But as we kind of talked, is it being done on purpose?
Yeah. Well, and like
But
I want to see what she's gonna say. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what can you
I'm
possibly
interested
say?
too.
Like, what can you possibly say? All right, let me
Yeah.
spin this real quick. So I've got the interview. Shit.
So where did you find it from? Did they release it? Everybody's
Sorry, I was
welcome in
pinning
here. Oh, that's okay.
everything. So there's another. Well, it's making its rounds, but there's another creator, the Pascal show, and he was playing it. But there's I don't know. There's a couple different people that. And the guy, I guess initially the guy that gave her a platform, which I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to give him any fucking clout.
Right.
But who gave her initially gave her the platform? I guess maybe that's where this, where it's coming from. I came in on the end of it. He was sharing it. He keeps giving, saying, "Well, I'm glad this guy sat it down." I think he's giving him too much slack because my thing is, you were so disrespectful to all survivors, all victims, not just in this case. You didn't do your diligence. You didn't ask the right questions. You didn't ask for evidence. You just went on this fucking, you know what I'm saying, clout. I'm gonna get viewers and I'm gonna get all this other shit, weird shit to make money off of. You exploited a vulnerable person. Now again, does this kind of stuff happen? 100% it happens. It's like me and my husband, we were talking about this. And I remember, like, when I very first opened my shelter, I had to learn real quick on, even though, like, I tell my story all the time, I would notice that sometimes some of the girls that would come in would take little pieces of everybody's story and make their own story. And so I got really big on, I was like, okay, wait a minute, I got to be more mindful of this stuff. You know what I mean? And then just advocating, I've seen it happen time and time again. And usually what happens is it's one or two things. Um, but regardless of what one of those two things are, somebody's very like going through it, because I just don't see why people would like do that except to look for attention for all the wrong things. So I don't know. What do you
Well,
think?
and I was going to say the same thing. We do see it on an everyday basis, actually, if you think about it.
Yep. Oh,
Um,
100%.
and there are victims, and then there are, and I don't want to call them victim wannabes because they probably have been victimized. They just feel that they have to embellish it to get more attention, thinking that it's going to create something for them that they really didn't want. The problem is,
Right.
we all know that when this happens, it hurts all the victims out there. And that's why when 98%, over 90% of women don't report them,
Yeah, and
98%
I
of
think
men
that's the
don't report.
frustrating the frustrating part for me, as a victim, as somebody that had people that didn't believe her, didn't believe me, you know what I mean? And then um just the damage it causes all the way around. And like I said yesterday, I mean, obviously, do I think that girl went through some stuff? I do think Misha's went through some stuff.
Yep.
But that doesn't give her the right. That doesn't give her, you know what I mean? Let's get into this interview. Let's see what she's gonna
Yeah,
say.
let's listen to this, and that way we have more
Yeah,
to talk about on what she's saying.
100%, 100%. So I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna pause in between and probably go over a little bit, but I'm gonna play and see because I want to see what she's got to say. So here we go. This is the voice of this young lady right here. Hold on one second. So just in case you guys are not familiar, this young lady came out a couple weeks ago and was talking about she is P. Diddy's victim. And she particularly used one of the, matter of fact, here, I'll show you. She used this picture and she said that this is her. Well, the judge made all the victims, the prosecutors and stuff, release all the victims' names. And so now we know that her name is Anna Kane, and she used to be married to a hockey player. And this is who the victim actually is. So I don't think this girl and that chick is the same person. So now we're gonna listen to what she has to say. So I'm gonna hold on. There we go. This is the voice of this young lady.
She's trying to move the goalpost, though. I'm gonna keep it a beat. She's definitely trying to move that goalpost. Let's go.
It's real. Everything that I went through is it's real. I know I took a picture like that, but her story and her lawsuit has nothing to do with me.
Now at the Live Beat show, We always seek to offer the most authentic and unfiltered content on the platform. That is why my channel has a large growing fan base daily. We only seek to post the real. When someone comes to you with a story in good,
then maybe you should do your due diligence and make sure and double check and see what you need to see. He disgusts me because he is. It's almost like a virtual pimp. You know what I mean? Like it just. Oh, sorry.
It was a money thing for him.
I only go off of what appears.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. He didn't give a shit about anything else. He didn't give a shit about the other victims. He didn't give a shit about the court cases that are going on. All he cared about is getting views, likes, and dollars in his fucking pocket. And that's the shit that disgusts me.
Be the truth. Now, it has been revealed recently that Misha was not the girl in the D&G photos, but one of the girls on the sushi table. On behalf of my team, we'd like to extend an apology.
And actually, he can't verify that either. So I don't even know why he's saying that because it's already came out that she is not that girl either. So now is that what they're going to do? Okay, well, she's not this girl. She's not the girl in the t-shirt, but she's the girl laying on the table. Let me shut up.
To all my subscribers and viewers for not doing a deep dive with the research behind those particular photos. Okay. First off, appreciate his apology.
I don't give a shit about his apology.
Personally, I do. But there's another part of me that's like, well, I kind of want you to make sure of this stuff because it is quite. I mean, don't get me wrong. Ooh, I got the smoking gun.
This is a very serious situation. To sit there and not do your due diligence to make, to at least deep dive a little bit. Because if he would have just listened to what she said, what got me was a red flag immediately when she kept saying, I need money for a lawyer. What are you talking about, chick? Because this lady, guess who represents her? This lady, Cassie's lawyers represent her. They even put out a statement. Matter of fact, where's that statement at?
Yeah, they were looking for women to come forward or men. They were looking for victims.
They put a statement stating that she is not their client.
Right.
I'm trying to see. It might be on my other phone. I'll look at it while we're listening.
Okay.
Sorry. Interview is about to quote unquote break the internet. It's going to be amazing, so on and so on. I get that piece, and you wanting to be the first.
And I will share this in my community page just in case anybody wants to go and look at the whole thing. And I'm just fast forwarding through his thing because I don't, I want to hear what she has to say.
I don't know if she's doing that like paying or whatever, but at the same time, a part of me is like, well, that is the case. Get it? You don't want to lose that money that you spent. But I don't know. That it is.
No, you don't do that.
There's quite a bit in those interviews. I'm sorry. Like I said, it's just disappointing. Let's go. That being said, join us today. We have Lamisha. Oh, heads up, this is sped up. So if it sounds funny, I'm speeding it up for a reason, okay?
That have watched my previous interviews. I want to thank you for your support and your condolence to what I've been through and understanding me, but I would like to apologize for the misled information about the D&G shirt. I knew that me coming out saying there was being a D&G shirt, that's someone else's case. So I knew that I could not say that. That's why I didn't want Adria to go live and say anything about the D&G shirt. But everything I experienced with P. Diddy is real.
Okay. But did she not say in some of these interviews? Adria did say first. You're right. And she did mention it first. And I'm going to be real. She did say, oh, yeah, she was this age, blah, 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 I was slurping strawberries, nah. She said all those things. She was the first one to say. Okay, that's not a lie. Okay, timeline-wise is very true. Okay? That's very true. But you went onto his platform and other platforms echoing what she said. So why? She didn't have to do any of these interviews, y'all. She didn't have to go around and say that damn thing. She didn't have to say anything, y'all. She could have kept this whole thing to herself and if it was Adria out here saying what she needed to say, what she said, let Adria continue to say what she said, and she could have kept quiet. She could have not said anything.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
But instead, she decided to go from platform to platform to platform. And again, I'm showing so you all can see that is her that is speaking. Platform to platform to platform, telling everybody that she is the victim in the shirt and all this other stuff. And like I said, I'm not going to sit here and say that maybe she could potentially be a victim of his. She could potentially all of that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, why are you grabbing a hold of somebody else's story? Because that will make me go, okay, well, I can't believe anything you say. And now they're still biting on that she's the girl that was on the table, but that also has been proven that she's not the girl on the table. So okay, this is your apology video. No, you need to get your ass offline, and you need to go and sit down and get some therapy and get the right people around her. She's got people around her that are exploiting her.
Why?
But now, all out here.
Go ahead.
On these platforms that she kept going around, why would, I mean, as big as this case is, and as many victims as there are, why? This is what I don't understand. Why give her a platform without verifying anything?
Because people don't care. They don't care
Um,
that this muddies the water for other victims. They don't care to, you know what I mean? They just is like,
oh,
oh,
no,
well, there's somebody claiming they're a victim. Here, everybody, I'm going to get millions of views off of this.
it's
It's
crazy.
re-exploitation. It's virtually pimping out people. That's what it is.
That was all out here. She had an opportunity. Even here's the other thing too. She had an opportunity. If she was going to go and do these interviews, she could have been like, "No, that is not me."
Exactly. Why did she sit there and exactly? She had every opportunity to say, y'all, that's not me, but this is my story. This is what happened to me. These are the things. Instead, she sit there and she came out and she talked about all these people and how they put bottles in her. I mean, just all this stuff. And now, well, oh, sorry, y'all, that part's not me, but everything else is.
I'm a victim, and here's my story.
And my outrage comes from being a survivor, being a victim, and then also mainly for the other victims. Like, I couldn't even imagine. All
Well,
right.
she didn't do that. She took the story
And she ran with it.
that's already planted out there. She added more to it. She had an opportunity. She didn't. You claimed that opportunity. That's the problem here.
Everything I went through, it's real. I just want to apologize to the misled information. I was on.
Okay, I'm sorry for breaking this up so damn much. I got to, because fair use and everything, but I have so much to say. Okay, because she's also getting cash apps, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Supporting her.
dude, she made all kinds of fucking money.
Let's not forget, if I'm correct, didn't she start her own YouTube channel?
Yeah, she did with her cash app on there.
You see what I'm saying? So she started a YouTube channel. She's also getting money from people via Cash App because they're supporting her.
Yep.
They feel sorry for her. They want to support an alleged victim. All that stuff. Now she's sitting here saying, yeah, that's not me, but it is. But I am a victim. This isn't true. This part is fake. But I'm not.
And I have to do. I'm sorry, y'all. I have to do the speed and stuff. So I'm stay under Fair Use Act. But yeah, no. Yeah. And see, that's the thing. All that money. Somebody just said she received $5,000 in one day, and stopped them from coming and cutting. What's it say? This is. I want to know if Andrea collected a fee for bringing Misha to the interview. She received $5,000 on Cash App in one day. Cash App stopped them from coming in because she reached. Oh shit! Damn it!
Her sitting there going, "Oh, it ain't me." Said it to him when he came onto the. The paperwork says you. Hey, this expose yourself.
Sorry, y'all.
She looks Caucasian to me, but I could be wrong. I know some of y'all like, I'm with Misha. Fabricating anything. This is not some crazy, wild story that I'm making. Claiming to.
Sorry, y'all.
She's also the
I actually hit the damn video back.
ex-wife of a professional hockey athlete. Professional NHL. Because it should not. It can happen, but it's still, to me, little pieces. Only to find out that whole book was fabricated. She sat down with them, had the interview, so on and so forth. It was crazy, right? Happened to Oprah. It can happen, but it's still, to me, wild. What you said, man? What you said? Exactly. Paid interviews, invite, exaggerate. Okay. We got things to talk about. Because that's the thing I'm not comfortable with at all either. I care.
Sorry, y'all. I messed up. I'm trying to fast forward back to the spot I was.
It's like, damn, I don't wish that then
I didn't want Adrian to go live and say anything about the DNA.
We're gonna start from here. My bad, y'all. All right, I'm gonna play it through.
Did she not say in some of these interviews? Adrian did say first. You're right. And she did mention it first, and I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. She did say, "Oh yeah, she was this age, blah blah blah, was slurping strawberries on, and she said all those things." She was the first one to say it. Okay, that's not a lie. Okay, timeline wise is very true. Okay, that's very true. But you went onto his platform and other platforms echoing what she said.
I would go to this platform and play the video, but I just don't want to give his. I just don't want to.
She didn't have to do any of these interviews, y'all.
So sorry about the commentary, extra commentary, you guys. All right, now that's where we're at.
She received $7 in Cash App. Whoa, in one day. What? Oh.
That's crazy. She should be like made to give that money back or something. I don't know.
Explain this to me. Okay, Cash App, stop them from coming because she. So $5,000 Cash Apps from to. Let me shut. That's what I want to know. It's insane. These interviews that she has over 500,000 plus views. Everyone's like, oh my gosh.
I didn't.
Okay, but at the same time,
I didn't.
I'd like to know about that.
I didn't because she kept on saying she needs money for a lawyer, and you have a civil suit. So what are you talking about? That's the quickest way somebody could have figured this out.
And considering the fact that you called her, why didn't these people giving her a platform not realize this?
I have no idea because it's as simple as that. That was the first huge red flag for me. She kept saying, I need to raise money for a lawyer, da 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 da. But you have a civil case going on. What are you talking about? And then, like I said, when Cassie's lawyers of them came out and said, listen, we know that there's somebody that's been going around claiming they're our victim. This person is not our victim. Literally the next day, they released this picture. And I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. But this chick don't look like that chick. And I'm sorry, but even in this picture, I can look and tell she's a white girl. Especially in the picture with her arms up by her head. So, just saying.
Yeah, that was a dead giveaway.
Dead giveaway.
So I'd love to have you on. You have time. No pressure, though. No pressure. Yeah. There it is. Mims. Okay. Let me Cash App. Stop her from receiving Cash Apps from you because they were.
To you? I'm sure you. You're about to show you.
I can on a video because you were.
Hold on. Let me take this down because she's about to show a picture.
But if you want to show them like a little clip. Pausing it right there. Now, respectfully, I'm going to say this right now. I think it's fair enough for us to look at this and go, I don't believe it.
Right.
I don't believe it. Sorry. I don't believe it anymore.
Now, I guess that she's saying that's the picture of her on the table. That could be anybody. Right.
Sorry, not sorry. You realize that.
Trying to keep his logo out of it. I don't believe her. I just don't. Because I've seen on other places say that it's not her.
Okay. So anything's possible. 20 years ago, I had a full of hair too. Okay. Just last week. I was like, I don't know how this time to tell.
Right.
So I don't know how to believe this, or if I believe this.
Okay, I'll look at it in just a minute.
I want to apologize to the Jane Doe victim. I never said her story was my story.
Yes, you did.
Thing she has been through, but I never said her story was my story. I want to apologize if I misled anyone.
No, I'm going to stop right there. Yes, she did. She sat there and said that that was her sitting on Diddy's lap in that shirt. Yes, she did. She definitely used her story. And not only that, but if you ever watched that movie Blink Twice, she also used that movie plot. All you gotta do is go back and watch Blink Twice. There's another video I'm gonna play here in a minute that I watched this morning. It's about a 15-minute video, and it breaks down all this shit. It breaks down the Blink Twice thing. I mean, it's insane. It's insane.
Definitely thank you for clearing that up. I know, there's a woman that just came out the other day where she actually had to show her identity, and a lot of people were saying that was her in the D&G photos. So you're saying that you are the girl that's on that table?
Yes, I'm on the table. That's what I'm saying.
And how old were you when you were on that table?
I was 13 on the table.
Anything else you would like to clear up with the audience today?
I appreciate the support. I'm not mentally unstable. I did experience a lot of trauma, and it's nerve-wracking because I came forward when I probably should just sit back and let them unveil the pictures. Now, I don't think I made a bad decision, but I'm second guessing myself because it just taking me back to the childhood trauma of me speaking out of the things that happened to me, and I already knew the world was going to be against me. Nobody wants to acknowledge the thing.
No, that's not true. If you would have sit here and came out and told the truth when everybody thought you were telling the truth, thousands of people supported this woman. In a matter of a week, she raised so much money. She started her own friggin' YouTube with millions of views because people thought she was telling the truth. And if we all remember, in the same time frame, right? There was conversation about Diddy's team. Now, if you listen to his phone calls that got leaked, the jail phone calls, the text now stuff that he was doing, all the shit that got called out in court, right? Because they were trying to do a smear campaign. What better smear campaign than to sit here and have somebody say that they and not only that, but I thought about this too. It was almost like they were trying to cause so much stuff, they were forcing that this woman was made to come out. Because Diddy and them have been trying to get this woman's identity out for she was one of I think she was one of the first after Cassie that filed a lawsuit, and they've been hiding her identity ever since. Now his lawyers press the judge and say, well, no, we want to know all the identities to the victims. And the prosecutors were trying to push it out as far as they can, but then all this happens. And yesterday she was forced, and she made a decision. She could have been like, you know what? I don't want to do any of this, and I'm done. But instead she said, no, I'm not going to let people intimidate me or take my story, because what happened to me as a child is not okay. That's what this lady said. And this lady is still, now she's saying she's the chick on the table. Well, why didn't you just say that? Even though, like I said, allegedly it's been proven that she's not the chick on the table. And if all you have to do is create enough chaos to where it can tamper the jury pool. And with situations like this, people ain't gonna know what to fucking think. Just saying.
That they have done to me. And I just want to apologize for the misled information.
Okay, let me let her finish. Hold on.
But I was already told when I called down there that someone was using, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't say that that's me because somebody already put in that was them. I did experience a photo in the DG shirt and the skirt, but I would like to apologize with the misled information.
But you knew it wasn't you.
Hold on. I'm going to repeat that again. I'm sorry. We're going to roll that back because I need that to make sense.
Now listen, Shelly, what she's saying, because he's going to redo this. She's saying, right, that she's sorry that she misinformed everybody. She's not the girl in the shirt, even though she's in pictures in shirts. Now, she knew that wasn't her sitting on his lap. She knew that. She knew that this picture was not her. Because I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, here's an instance, right? That's me in the industry. That was when I used to work in the industry. You think of a picture, if I'm sitting on somebody's lap or somebody else is standing there, I'm going to know if that's me or not. I know that's me. I can tell you what club I was at. I can tell you where I was standing at in the club. Everything. When I took the picture. Everything. You going to tell me. Sorry. You going to tell me that you don't know that's you, not you sitting on his fucking lap? Even if you do have that same shirt. The fuck out of here, man. I ain't buying it. Sorry. Exactly. She misled on purpose.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm not putting misled. She lied.
Huh?
It's not misleading. It's flat out lying for attention.
100%. And from what it sounds like, this Andrea, or however you say her name, the other chick that she's been buddy with, you know what I mean? And seeing this other video that I watched last night, this dude that did the platform, in this video, they're saying that he was managing these girls. First of all, managing is code word for pimping. Just want to throw that out there, people. If you didn't know, you know now. People don't need managers for YouTube. The fuck you need a manager to go talk to people on YouTube?
Damn.
So we'll break that other video down too, because it's pretty. When I seen it last night, I was like, whoa.
Now, hold on. And it's a good question. I appreciate the question, but for me, I'm like, I really wish you just really went in, because at some point I'm going, this is my platform, this is my credibility, etc.
He doesn't care though.
Like,
he doesn't care. He wants it, you know. And I respect to him. I get. He's like, well, why didn't he just do something? Why didn't he say more? Why didn't he dig harder? He didn't give a shit. All he cared about was clicks, views, and money in his pocket. He didn't care if it was real or not. He didn't care if it discredited other survivors. He didn't care that this could fuck up everything. Because again, all you got to do is put doubt in one person's head.
Yet, but I do wish that there was a little bit more pushback. You know, this is when I put on my Piers Morgan hat and I start going in.
Right.
Because now it's like, it's not only just her credibility on the line.
Right.
That's just me though.
Okay? You got to give some pushback.
But let me. He asked this question on audience today. Okay. And I think this part is very telling. I think what she's talking about is childhood trauma that may not have anything to do with Diddy. And now
right.
They're going.
And I've said that. Do I think that she's experienced something? I do. I think she's went through something. Watching her, yeah, it's Pascal. Because I didn't want to, honestly, Shelly, I did not want to go to the guy that did all this. I didn't want to go to his page and give him the view, give him the click, any of that. So I'm doing it under fair use act, by the way. But yeah, I just thought I'd do it like this because I wanted to hear the interview and I wanted you all to hear it, but I did not. And I'm going to share this on my community page so people can go watch the whole thing because he does it's I think so far up to a almost 2 hour, 3 hour video. 2.5 hours, whatever. But yeah, I wanted to hear out of her own mouth.
Like, I just want my voice to be heard. I want my truth and my experience with childhood trauma to be heard. No one was listening to me before. Now they're listening. That's what it feels like what she's saying here. And I don't think it has anything to do with Diddy, but let's see what's up.
I appreciate the support. I'm not mentally unstable. I did experience a lot of trauma. And
hey Christy.
It's nerve-wracking because I came forward when I probably should just sit back and let them unveil the pictures. Now, I don't think I made a bad decision, but I'm second guessing myself because it just takes me back to the childhood trauma of me speaking out of the things that happened to me, and I already knew the world was going to be against me. That nobody wants to acknowledge the things that they have done.
Hold on one second, Joe.
How can you acknowledge when you're lying?
This is the video that we are watching today. So it is on my community page. My bad. Sorry, Christine. What were you saying?
She wants the world to empathize with what she's feeling. How can she get the world to believe her when she's lying?
Right. And like I said, I mean, I have experience through advocating and stuff like that. When you sit down, and this is why that deep work needs to come in, right? And this is why sometimes before people try to go to court and all this other stuff, we try to get them grounded. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot. It's a lot when no one's ever listened to you and different things like that. But you gotta weed through what's going on. You know what I mean? What's real, what's confusing because, whatever, and what's not real. And sometimes there's a little bit of everything, and not with every victim, and then unfortunately, there's people out there that just, they use a little bit of everybody's story, you know what I mean? And they want the sympathy and they want people to feel sorry for them. And then there's people that aren't victims at all that do this shit just to con people. And that's why it has always made it so hard for victims. So, just crazy.
Oh, no one wants to acknowledge the things that they have done to me. Okay, so the things that they have done to you may not have anything to do with Diddy.
Right.
It may be things that happened to her as a child, and this is an opportunity for her to be heard.
And again, I do believe things have happened to her. I was watching her body language. I understand the rocket back and forth. I understand the, all over the place. Those are signs of serious fucking trauma. So, again, I've said it from the beginning. I'm not doubting that anything has ever happened to this young lady. But I don't know if it had anything to do with Diddy. And I don't know if, or one thing I do know is as soon as I heard her story, I knew there were holes in it because, again, she kept saying, I need a lawyer. You don't need a lawyer. You have a civil case. 100%. Well, Christy, and that's why I said, because they were doing, there was talks about, P. Diddy had some phone calls that were released and different things like that. And some text now shit that he got in trouble for the other day in court, what he wasn't supposed to be doing. He was using other inmate shit. And there was a lot of talk in the last couple of weeks that there would be an intentional smear campaign going on. And what did he say? I just need one juror to have doubt. Because that's all he needs. And then boom, that's a mistrial. You know what I mean? And so, I don't know, dude. And there was people coming out and saying that there were like goons, and that's the words that was used, that were coming up and talking to certain creators, YouTube creators and stuff, and TikTok people that are putting the story out, and was like, well, is anybody paying you? Who's paying you to put all this information out? And then if the people say, well, ain't nobody paying me, then they're like, okay, well, can we pay you to counteract the message that you're doing now? So, I mean, it's fucking crazy, dude. But this is what happens in a power and control type of situation. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter that this man's in jail. And this is also why he is not getting out of jail, because he continues to run a situation even outside of fucking jail.
You see what I'm saying? So she's using this as a platform to be like, hey, hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Now you're going to listen to me. Because I deserve to be heard. What I went through is what I went through, and now you guys are going to listen to it, whether you like to hear it or not. You're finally listening to me. Maybe she's been saying things about her trauma as a child, and no one's listened until just now. You see what I'm saying? But still, I'm not condoning this. Clearly, I'm not.
No, not at all.
But maybe psychologically, this is what she's thinking in her head. Maybe this is what is justifying her means. Again, I could be completely wrong. But just from what I'm seeing here, gut reaction, it seems like she's like, finally, a platform, an alley that people actually listen to me. And now she's trying to associate herself with a big name that's giving her an opportunity to have a platform.
I'd have to say I agree with him. I agree with him a little bit on that, because that could be very much what is going on. But just like he said, I don't condone it either. As a survivor, as a victim, as how many times I get my story thrown in my face, how many times I get told I'm a liar, how many times I've been railroaded over the shit that I didn't do to myself. Yeah, I can't condone shit like this.
Game too. She's securing the hell out of a bag.
Yeah, she is.
If she shut down Cash after one day, dang. But I wouldn't be surprised if all these people are sitting there going like, I want my money back. That's something she's got to worry about now too.
Right.
All that money got to go back.
Hey, listen, I know I'd be trying to get my money back. I'd be putting a claim in.
That's right. Me too.
Ain't no fucking way, dude. Hey, and if I was the victim, the real true victim, I'd be telling my lawyers to throw some shit up, put a cease and desist down, do something. Nah, shut her ass. Like, no, dude. It's not okay. It's not okay. And I get that she has untreated trauma and all this other shit, but I'm going to keep on saying it. It's not fair. It's not fair to this victim right here that for so long has fought to keep her name out of everything. And because of all this fuckery, she's, you know what I mean? It's not right. And here's a picture. She's beautiful. Here's a picture. That's her ex-husband. He's a national hockey player or whatever. All right, we'll go back to what she said.
Wasn't like this in the first interview.
Right. Nope.
So
I want to apologize for the misled information. But I was already told when I called down there that someone was using, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't say that that's me because somebody already put in that was them. I did experience a photo in a DG shirt and a skirt, but I would like to apologize with the misled information.
sorry.
No, it's not misled. You lied. You lied. You know that it wasn't you. You lied. You didn't mislead. You fucking lied. Sorry.
I'm rolling that back. Make this make sense. Make it make sense.
He's rolling it back.
Right, because it's like she's like, well, I did have a situation in a dress and a skirt, whatever. Like, dude, you know it wasn't you. And how could her or any of the dummies around her, dude? There's a case going on, and everybody knows that his team has been screaming for these victims that are going under John Doe to be publicized. And the prosecutors are like, hey, we're going to push this shit out because everybody knows that they have to do it. But eventually, but the prosecutors were trying to push it out as far as they can because he continues to harass people, his victims. So did she think that they was just never, like, we wouldn't be able to tell that this girl and that,
I mean, just the skin tone alone, how did she think she was going to be able to prove that?
like I said, especially with her, the one, I mean, I immediately looked at, because I get dark as fuck. My
sure.
mother-in-law, actually, at the 4th of July party, my mother-in-law, which is a black woman, when she walked back in the yard, she said, well, damn. She said, who's this black girl? You know, she was joking because I got really dark or whatever. You know what I mean? But she was like, girl, she's like, you get dark as hell. But I get dark because of all the nationalities I have in me, right? But I knew right away. I was like, that's a white girl. Yeah. Maybe Hispanic, maybe. But I truly thought it was a white girl from day one. I'll tell you what, it ain't her.
No.
I just want to apologize for the misled information. But I was already told when I called down there that someone was using, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, now think about what she just said. When I called down there, somebody told me somebody was already using. No, baby, they're not using shit. This is what happened to her. This is her experience. I called down there and they told me that they was already using. That's what I'm talking about. You gotta listen to the words people say.
I couldn't say that that's me because somebody already put in that was them.
Explain that.
Right. Explain that.
You're saying that somebody, so you're saying Anna Kane took your story, took your crimes. Can somebody explain that to me? Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Right. Like, it's like people don't want to catch that shit. I ain't stopping no cat. I'm going to make sure you and all your false victims get held accountable.
Right, Betty. Right.
Well, I can't say held accountable, but I'm going to bring light to the bullshit because I ain't got no pull in this at all, but I can definitely make sure people hear about it.
Sweetheart, welcome to the fam. Welcome to the show. I'm just saying, like, did she just say that? I'm trying to understand it properly. I'm trying to understand it thoroughly, guys, because I care. I care, damn it. So make that. I keep saying make it make sense, but math. Let me just say that. Math. So she's saying somebody else took the story or took that crime in that case before she was able to file that crime that she went through as well. That's the problem. That is why there's pushback from everybody out here in the court of public opinion, because I wish nothing but happiness and justice for her if justice needs to be served to her. Okay? And a lot of love. But
she needs to start cleaning this fucking mess up and doing this even in this interview. I mean, I called down there and they told me that it was already like, no, motherfucker.
Lying.
But we supposed to believe that you was on the table? I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. Now, if it comes out in court processes and that actually is her on one of them tables, hey, I'll come back here and do a live and go, my bad. Sorry, she lied before, so I just didn't believe it. And I'm sorry that it happens that way, but unfortunately, that way it happens.
And how is she
There's a
ever going to
difference.
get anybody to believe her that she was on that table?
Well, it's going to have to be the court people come out and say, yo, no, this actually is her. You know what I mean? But
Right.
it's other people have taken, I forget I was watching another show and somebody had taken the picture of the lady on the table. It doesn't line up. Like he said,
Mm,
math ain't mathing, baby.
yeah.
Look at this, guys. This is
And there's a difference between having a trauma brain and not remember exactly what happened. And right now, I'm fucking lying. Right? Yeah. Not you're lying, but I know what you're saying.
frustrating. Extremely.
Yeah, it's very frustrating, dude. As an advocate, as a survivor, as a like, yeah, it's very frustrating because this is exactly why it's so hard for victims to get justice and help.
Let's continue on, though.
I did experience a photo in a DG shirt and a skirt, but I would like to apologize with the misled information.
So Misha, how do you feel like the information got misled? Like, how did it get misled?
Because I never said, okay, when I was younger, I wrote statements. You know, I lied about my age too, and I wrote statements. And the misled information is that they're saying that I'm taking her story, but me and the person went through similar things. And the misinformation is me saying that that's me suing. I never said I was suing him. The misled.
You said that was him. On plenty of interviews, this girl has went and they have showed the picture and they said, this is you. And she's like, yeah, Jaguar even started calling her out.
Wow.
Jaguar even told her on another podcast, was like, girl, even if this is, which, I think at that point everybody was starting to figure out it wasn't her. But she was like, you're not doing yourself any favor. I'll have survivors or victims or, early survivors come up and say to me, Miss Summer, I would love to do what you do. I would love to be able to go out and tell my story. And I tell them, sit down and heal. Because the worst thing that I ever did was 3 months after having a 357 to my fucking head, I was out here speaking and telling my story. I was being re-exploited. I was being pimped out in the name of awareness and didn't even realize it. I thought I was being educational. I thought I was helping other people to stay safe. I thought, oh, this is what all these people told me. But all I was doing was re-traumatizing myself. I didn't need to be out there speaking 3 months after having a fucking gun to my head. I needed to be sitting somewhere and getting loved on and getting, getting some counseling and getting some trauma care and getting built back up. But instead, I went out there because of trauma response. I almost was killed. My friends have been killed. I didn't want this to happen to anybody else. I know it's happening in our city. The first time I ever spoke was in Shelby Park. I went and blew up all kinds of people online and was like, if you give a fuck about human trafficking, you'll come to this park and hear me speak. It's like 60 people showed up. I was like, whoa. I had no business doing that, though. Nobody came alongside of me and said, Summer, you need to sit down and heal, baby. And so I had to literally, I'm saying? I done had nervous breakdowns in front of people. I done all kinds of crazy shit because I didn't get that time to sit down. So when I have people come up and tell me, Summer, I would love to do what you were doing. I would love to, go out here and speak and all that. I'm like, baby, just sit. Take a year. Take a year to yourself and just enjoy your life. Enjoy your freedom. Heal a little bit. And then if you decide you want to do something, then motherfucker hit the ground, hit the ground going. But that is always my biggest advice to anybody, anyone. And Michelle can tell you, anybody that knows me, Christine, yeah, I know you could, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
anybody that knows me, if I'm sitting with a victim and they're just, I got 6 months clean. I'm doing good, Miss Summer. Can I come with you and speak? No, baby, I'm not going to re-exploit you like that. I'm
Not
not going
yet.
to pip you out in the name of awareness. You're not ready.
Yep.
Because what people don't realize is when you start talking, your own body turns against you. Your mind, your nerves, every single thing just you're re-traumatizing yourself. So if you're not really got the tools from that healing, Dude, you're setting yourself back. I set myself back into a relapse in the very beginning.
Well,
I came out of that.
What she's just done is going to be very detrimental to her life now.
Well, that's what Jaguar was telling her. She said, you're not doing yourself any favors. I always say, I should not have to tell you my trauma porn for you to fucking understand what I'm saying.
Yep.
I always say that because, when I sit here and tell you how I've been cut in places I shouldn't been, thrown out of cars, you know what I'm saying, raped this way, all these different shit. I'm doing nothing but traumatizing myself. And actually, what I also learned is I was traumatizing my crowd because I was going and speaking and I was giving details of shit and what happened to me. And then I was wondering why I couldn't sleep. It would take me 2 or 3 days to come out of speaking because I fucking put myself right back in that situation. The nightmares, the terrors, all that shit was insane. Like to the point where I had to make safety plans for food and, you know what I mean? Like if I spoke somewhere, I had to take 3 days off. I couldn't do shit. So I get the frustrating part and I get the part of when you're ready to tell your story and I get the part you're just like, fuck it, I want people to hear. But it's not a good idea to just go. It's a good idea to love you enough to heal some and then go, because once you open that floodgate, there's no closing that motherfucker. Nothing I can do can take back. I wish I could go back to when I first got out and everything. I'd do things completely different. I wouldn't be so fucking public. I wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, I just wouldn't. My life's been turned upside down 500 different ways. So with her going on all these platforms telling her story, or whatever story she's, whatever, because I do believe there's some truth in it. Because I just do. I do still feel that. But that doesn't justify anything, and I'm not making an excuse. She needs to go sit her ass down somewhere, because this is not okay. Even after as many years, I've still not tell my whole story because, and as much as I've talked about, I still ain't told everything that's happened to me. Because there's shit that I can't talk about. I don't care if I try. I can't do it. It just won't come out. Because it's that fucked up. All right, get back to her story.
Information.
I just wish.
So you're not suing him. You're not suing him, or you sued him, but you're not suing it.
Right.
What's going on here? I want to know. See what I'm saying?
Well, she kept saying she needs a lawyer. And that's where it got me, because I'm like, what do you need a lawyer for? You're suing him civilly. But she's not suing him civilly because it wasn't her.
It's this weird word salad jumble up thing that she's doing. It's this weird somersault of information. What's really going on here? What's going on here?
With Miss English, till I told her, I can't claim to be her. I think if you go back and watch your interviews, I said I can't say that's me. I did say those things, and all this everybody's making videos about me saying I'm lying. I'm not lying about my experience.
I'm rolling that back. She just said 2 completely contradicting things back to freaking back, and I see what he did. I see why he edited it this way. He did it. He's trying to get a point out here, guys, without actually saying it. But let's play it a little bit one more time.
No. The misinformation is that they're saying I'll take her story, but me and the person with similar things.
Right.
And the misinformation is me saying that that's me suing. I never said I was suing him. The misled information was Miss English. Till I told her, I can't claim to be her. I think if you go back and watch your interviews, I said I can't say that's me.
But she did say it was her.
Right.
That's the problem.
Right.
She did say it was her.
She did say it was her sitting on his lap.
Yep.
I did say those things, and
she did say those things. So which one is it? Either you didn't or you did. There's no in between. She did say it was her. She did say it was her. She talked about being plied with substances, put on a plane, flown out to New York, so on and so forth, seen all kinds of crazy stuff. Man, there was another interview that she did where she talked about Gloria Allred or something like that in there. I don't know. All I'm saying is that there's been some really wild allegations that came out of her mouth, and now she's sitting there going like, wait a second, I didn't say all that stuff. And then of course now she's also throwing Adrian English under the bus. And the thing is like, if Adrian English said things that she should not have said, well, she said those things. This particular woman right here,
you didn't have to go say it.
Had the choice.
Yeah, she had 100% the choice. She knew what the fuck this girl was saying. And listen, I'm not even look. And what's crazy is the other chick, she has been at some of it. That's the thing, is people will take a little bit of the truth and they will put their own narrative on it. Like the other chick, while a lot of people believed her, she's been at some Diddy parties. So everybody was like, okay. But just because you've been at some of these parties don't mean that some of this stuff happened to you. And if it did happen to you, don't use other people's stories so people can actually hear your story and you can finally get justice or whatever. Oh, so frustrating. Sorry, y'all. I know I'm taking forever on this video, but
It's okay.
Stay quiet and not say anything. Yes, Adria. I even said it in one of my interviews, or when we watched one of his interviews that he had with Adria. I remember it clear as day. She's sitting there talking about all this other stuff. She's not even talking about the crimes that were committed under her. This is what Adria was saying. Constantly talking about other people. Oh yeah, she was only 14 when this happened. And she was only this age, blah blah blah. Right? She said all kinds of things. I even paused the interview. And I said, why is she talking about other people's stories and not telling her own? Why are we
right.
hearing about everybody else's experience, and we're not talking about the crimes that were actually committed on to Adria. I even said that during
Yep.
replays of these reaction videos, listening to her interviews. I'm like, that does not make any sense. But here's the thing. Misha had a choice. She could have stayed quiet and not said
Yep.
anything. Found a professional for therapy, found a lawyer,
Yep.
sued Diddy if she truly believes that she is a victim of Diddy.
But there's a lot. Oh, that's right. That's a lot of hurt.
Let the lawyers do the talking.
Right.
Why go on
Best
to
advice.
like me or anybody else's platform
Listen.
and say these things when they're not 110%?
This is how, and think about it. Law offices, right? They don't entertain internet shit, right? They'll be like, whatever. But the fact that they had to put a statement out that this person is not our client, that's how out of hand this got. And if the lawyers did that, well, don't you think that could taint a jury pool? Just saying.
That's true. She had options.
She
had
did
a
have
choice,
options.
and she chose to go this route.
Yes, she
Now,
did.
She's sitting here going, "Oh, that's me right there. That's me." On the sushi, on the sushi table. How are we supposed to believe her now?
Right.
Isn't that fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, never gonna fool me again, right? I know that's not really the same.
And like I said, somebody broke that down, and I remember seeing it. I have to find it again. I mean, they like zoomed in, and it just doesn't. It doesn't look like her. And this other picture, this other video that I watched last night, even with pictures that she showed that were her around that age, it still doesn't look like her.
Right. This is disappointing, y'all. It's really disheartening. It really, really is.
All this everybody's making videos about me saying I'm lying. I'm not lying about my experience. I don't have mental health issues of like people gang stalking me, putting up my background and they're doing all this stuff to me. But I did go through something. I went through something. I did. I went through something, and I never said that one story was my story. We have similars in the things that he done because he does the same thing to everybody.
Okay. But here's the thing. Now that we're in this same situation, let's be completely real, all right? We now know that.
So what do you think so far?
He has a pattern.
I'm just blown away with her back talking and the word salad, as he calls it.
Yeah, it's insane. It's like, it's just, it's got me triggered as fuck. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm just like, I just want to shake this girl. I want to shake her, but at the same time, I want to sit down with her and be like, baby girl, you need some help. You need real love. You need real help right now. You know what I mean? And these are the situations, because look, I'm known for my tough love. I'm known for, I'm one of, okay, I've noticed that in my field, you know what I mean? There's advocates and survivor leaders that will just love the life out of you. And what I mean by that is that just love, 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 right? But sometimes somebody's got to love you enough to sit your ass down and tell you you're doing it just a little too much. And this is not helping you. And you are shooting yourself in the fucking foot. And like, we need to get back on track. Because I'm not going to keep chasing. I don't chase tails. That's what I tell them. And it's those people that you can have that conversation with that then really put the grunt work in. And I've seen these women have families, married, buy homes, start businesses. Like, their whole life is completely different. They surpass anything I got going on. And that's what I want. Anybody that I help, I want them to not be where I'm at. I want them to surpass me.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to be happy and free and enjoy life. I want to be invited to the weddings. I want to go to their babies' graduation parties and shit like I get invited. That's what I want. I want to see them thriving. But sitting around let somebody do this shit and not say anything and not intervening, shame on the advocates that are around her if she has any.
I'm thinking she doesn't have any because she wouldn't be doing all this lying.
Well, that's what,
Yeah.
say that. I agree with you on that 100%.
Yeah.
Just in case. I'm going to throw it to the wall. Hopefully that spaghetti don't stick.
They wake up and
And people want to know what re-exploitation is? You want to know what re-exploitation, whether she's a victim or not of Diddy? I do believe that she's got some shit going on. This is re-exploitation at its finest. Oh boy, did everything. He virtually pimped this girl out.
they're happening. They're waking up in the middle of
And not the gentleman that we're listening to, by the way. The idiot that started all this.
where they're waking up into the end, so on and so forth. So we do know that MO. But the thing is that there's a lot of people that could pick up that information. They even said it in the show too. I'm like, hey, there's information where they're talking about, oh yeah, I had a sharp, I had a sharp object and I poked Jenner in the shoulder, the blah blah blah. It's like, well, she did talk about it on a reality show. You see what I'm saying? People can gather information and then just use it and morph it into their own truths or into their own stories, so it makes it more authentic. People can do that all the time.
And the way so many different interviews and so many different clips and so many different, whatever that people have said since this case has came out, how it's resurfaced. Oh yeah, it's real easy to put some shit together and be like, okay, here, this is what I want you to say.
Day long, including, oh yeah, since I hear the pattern is this, and this, and if I, me drinking some substance that makes me feel woozy, you can use that and spin it around and make it more authentic.
Yep.
That's exactly what we are looking at right now, potentially. So again, you're saying, hey, well, I'm innocent, I'm telling the truth, blah blah blah. But if you're innocent, why hide behind a lie? Why add more to your story? If your story is just as horrific, why add somebody else's story onto yours? It just makes no earthly sense.
Right.
But her story is not my story. So I just want to say I never found. If they look at the videos, I said I never found anything.
But yet you were screaming, she needs a lawyer.
To the police officers throughout the time that I was with them, and they were, get my statement. We have the same similar thing, so it brought up trauma. It brought up a lot of stuff. I went through the things that I went through. I'm standing on that. I went through things that I went through.
But did she go through the things that she went through from Diddy's hand?
Right.
That's a massive difference. Like I said, she could be telling the truth right there within the lie.
Yeah.
She could be saying, hey, I went through these things, and then just tacking on Diddy. But maybe she really went through these things, but not at the hand of Diddy.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Or at the hand of any big platform person, right?
Basically, Katrina, she's saying that, she's kind of saying my story is not, she's saying that this chick that she's saying that her story and this chick's story is so much alike, and she's not telling her story. She's doing a lot of fucking food
she's saying that Diddy has done the same thing to all these women, because that's what he does, and she is one of them. But she didn't say that and then she's backtracking, saying she didn't say that this was her story. They're similar. And it's like, what?
Oh yeah, sissy. Pascal's one of my favorite. I turned Shelly, I turned anybody I can onto him because he is amazing. And what I love about him is he is gonna deep dive. He is, and he is a voice for so many victims, for so many missing children, he brings awareness to so many different things. You know what I mean? And he ain't gotta sit here and jump on no bandwagon.
No.
And that's why I respect him and I adore the work that he does. And that's why his page is shared on my community page. If you're not subscribe, please go and subscribe and go watch this video, because we're pausing it, and all this stuff. Go watch it all the way through so you can get a feel for it for yourself. Like I always tell you, I don't care what you hear from me or anybody that we listen to or react to or whatever. Go and listen to it for yourself. But yes, I love him to death. He's amazing.
And he's not going to put something out that he himself has not looked into.
100%. And that's what it blows me. And that's why I love, all of us. You, Mama Bear, Casey, Katrina, everybody that we sit there and, we all, it ain't just me looking at shit. Half the time, it ain't even me that looks into it. I'll be like, hey, well, all y'all, and then I look at all y'all stuff, and then I'll go look at stuff. You know what I mean? And before we even talk about anything. I have been listening. I just can't believe she's using those actual words in her own. 100%.
I
It's
know.
mind blowing.
Continue.
The misled is me being Jane Doe in the lawsuit. I'm Jane Doe. As far as when I did file, they told me to put Jane Doe down, but that's her lawsuit. It's not mine. So that's the misled information right there. I don't know if I explained it right.
Okay. What did she just say?
Oh my God. They
What?
told
She just lied? Go ahead, Christine.
they just told her to put Jane Doe, but that's not her story. What? What did she just say?
I know he's going to rewind this. Let's find out.
Yeah, we understand. Now, were you coerced by anybody, like Adria or anybody like that? Anybody tell you to come and create like a...
No. Adria didn't even have to be honest, she didn't even have to reach back out to me. I can pull up my messages when I pulled up Do You Remember Me and I can show y'all. But she didn't have to reach out back to me. It was more of me getting in contact with her being like, it's not a figure of my imagination, but I put all this stuff behind me like it never happened. It was more of me reaching out to her to see if she remembered me because I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Let me see if I can find our messages.
I'm rolling that back. Hold on. Lo siento, guys. I got to roll that back a little bit. You to come
We
and create
knew
like
that.
No, Adria didn't even have to be honest, she didn't even have to reach back out to me. I can pull up my messages when I pulled up Do You Remember Me and I can show y'all. But she didn't have to reach out back to me. It was more of me getting in contact with her being like, it's not a figure of my imagination, but I push all this stuff behind me like it never happened. It was more of me reaching out to her to see if she remembered me because I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
So you reached out to Adria independently. She didn't reach out to you. So you reached out to her saying, hey, I'm the girl that you're talking about. I was there, so on and so forth. Ah, son of a gun. Come on, man.
Right.
Toenail. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. But
Can you guys hear it good still?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find our messages. Hell, I even reached out to homie G, and he just sent me back a black heart. Like I reached out to everybody.
Why were you reaching out to all these people? See, that's the thing. Why were you reaching out to everybody else and not reaching out to a lawyer?
Right.
I just something's not right here.
Right.
Like I said, just something's not. It's not resting. It's not resting on my soul properly. Okay.
Nope.
Since she's stepped forward and spoken out, it hasn't been feeling right. I'm gonna be real. It has not been resting. Let's continue. Let's continue. But like I said, she's going out and she's reaching. She's going out of her way to. You see what I'm saying? Yo. How do I send it to you, Mims? How do I send it to you? So then I can send you the link because I'm not about to put the link up for anybody. You feel me? Okay, but let me just continue
Yes.
on. Like I said, but I reached out to all these people, and I'm like, wait a second, you know what I mean? And also, hey, before we go after any, the platform in which she's on and all that stuff, let's be respectful.
No. No, I'm sorry. I disagree with you on that because the platform that did all this needs to get the throwback on him because he was very irresponsible. He didn't give a shit about no victims. He didn't give a shit about this case. No, I'm not going to sidestep that at all. That's why I won't say his name.
This could happen to the best of us. Real talk. Getting the wrong person, getting excited, talking to somebody, believing them. I even asked him. I will say this too. Like I said, I even asked him, like, are you sure? You absolutely sure?
Crizzy, yes, I've also heard the same thing. One of his sons actually has a lawsuit. Christopher, I believe, allegedly has a lawsuit that is stuff that was done on the yacht. Then there is another young lady that has been on Soft White Belly or whatever it's called, and she talked about how at the parties there's the inside party or whatever where all the freaky stuff's happen, and he sends his boys out to pick the girls out that are going to come into the triple X side of the party. So yeah, and if you know the history of his family, his father was allegedly a street guy or whatever. he ratted on some people and allegedly got killed. His mother was a PIMP allegedly, and so I mean, and if you look at how weird him and his mother's relationship is, I don't know. I believe she groomed him, and I believe what happened is he's groomed his kids now.
That this is, what she's saying is that is real. He's like, yeah, I made sure, I reached out, we talked, we did the best we could to make sure she was properly vetted before we.
Same thing with me. I do tough love, and I do tough love because I've survived this type of shit. I've overcame so much, you know what I mean? And so there is a time and a place to do the lovey and I love you and da 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 da. But there is also a time to get a little hardcore so you can get into some of this shit and get through some of this shit and see what's going on so you can heal from it.
Mistakes do happen. Like I said, even to the best, even the most professional of professionals.
We're going to do both. Right now, we're listening to an interview of one of the victims that came out. So this is just to catch anybody up that just got here. All right. So, and then we'll finish listening to this. So this lady came out a couple of weeks ago and said that she was a victim. She actually said she was this victim that is in a civil case, right? And if you've been following this case, you know that the judges, Diddy's team had went to the judges and said, listen, we want all the John Doe's names. If we're going to fight this case, we need to know who all the victims are. So yesterday, the courts came out and said that this is the victim. Her name is Anna Kane, and she's, we used to be married to a NHL star, and this is the victim. This is who she is. That is not who she is. That is who she is. Two different women, clearly, look completely different. And actually, a lot of people were saying, oh, well, that might be, a black woman or whatever. But if you've looked at the court documents and you've seen these pictures, you know that that's a white chick. I can look at those pictures and tell that she's a white girl. So that's what we're listening to now. Now this lady that has now been caught because the courts yesterday released who this victim was, and clearly it's not her. So now we're listening to her response to this, saying that, hey, I'm not her. I'm not using her story, but I used her story. But she say I called down there and they told me that there was already a story, so I couldn't do that. I mean, it's a lot of food salad.
It's happened. Yeah. Okay. It has definitely happened. So again, it's just like I said. This is just
myself, Christine. I believe that there's possibly stuff that this girl went through, no doubt about it. You know what I mean? But the fact that she knew, I don't give a shit, dude. Like, that whether this is you or not sitting on his lap. If Christine went and did something yesterday, or even 20 years from now, and this picture, she's going to know if that's her sitting on somebody's lap.
That's right. I pulled up a picture today of my 26-year-old when he was about 2 of the same Santa picture, that he's screaming just like his daughter was yesterday in the picture. And
right.
I have several sons that look alike at that age. But I knew it was him because A, the clothes, B, the background.
Well, like I said, this is a picture of me when I was in the life.
Yeah.
So I don't give a shit if somebody's like, oh, that's me. No, it's not. Where were you standing? Where were you? What club were you? What city? What was going on that night? That's me. All day long. So, you know what I mean? It's just, let's get back to that.
Disappointing. Period. Point blank. Very, very disappointing. But.
And if you want to hear the whole show, Summer is listening to. Yes, if you want to find this whole show, please, you guys, after, we're listening and stuff, or whenever, you can go and listen to it for yourself and just really intake everything.
Thanks,
so,
Kristen.
yes, he did prefer. Yes, I agree. He preferred men, but he obviously has women victims as well, as we all know.
Mm-hmm.
What it is, okay? Let's continue on. But that's the thing. It's like she's reaching out to other people, and I'm wondering why. You know what I mean? But again, we'll see. We'll see. I feel like she has gone through some things, but maybe it wasn't at the hands of Diddy. That's what I truly believe.
Yeah.
That's what I truly believe.
You reached out to Dean. I'm trying to go to me and her messages so I can show it. All I sent her on September the 29th. I sent her, wait, hold on, where it go? On September the 29th, I sent her, do you remember me? Can you see it? Or you can't really see it?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see it.
I sent her a message and it say, do you remember me? You left me with him. And she said, who? And I sent her, as you can see, that's Kim Porter right there, right?
And you know, she might have, and I'm going to say this.
This is Kim Porter right here, right? This is me.
Go ahead.
She might have suffered things with Diddy. She might have. I'm not going to deny that yet. But you don't take somebody's story and make it yours.
Yeah, but even with that, I still have hard doubting it because now she's saying, okay, I wasn't the girl sitting on the lap, but
Right.
I am the girl that was sitting on the table. And like I said, listen, I don't give a shit with anybody, whether people like YouTube creators or not. YouTube creators have solved many of crimes. They have, you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
there were people that broke down zoomed in on the picture and everything. That's not, it doesn't, and then there's pictures, and this is another video in a minute I want to go over. This is taking a little bit longer than I thought it would, but the other video shows pictures of her when she was that age. It doesn't look like the girl on the thing. So you're still in this, instead of going, okay, you guys, my bad. Some things have happened to me. Nobody was listening to me. You know what I'm saying? I got caught up in all this, whatever. But these are the things that happened to me, and I really need help. And you know what I mean? She's not doing that. Instead, she's like, well, I called down there and they basically told me I couldn't use her story because there was already a case going on. And by the way, I have that shirt and that jeans, like, come on, man. That's the shit that's irritating me.
On the table. This is me. I sent her these pictures. This is me. This is Kim Porter. That's me. That's me right here on the table.
Yeah, but we can't tell that.
And I sent her those pictures, and she sent me pictures of her and her son Cody, and she told me to call her. Okay, and she told me to call her.
And who was that sent you that message?
Oh, I can't stand him.
Oh, okay.
Adria. Now I've been reaching out to a lot of different people, and she's the only one that responded to me. I even been messaging Sarah. I've been going off on everybody. I've been messaging everybody. I messaged homie G. He just sent me back a black heart. You know, I messaged Jean. I messaged a lot of people, and she was the only person that reached back out to me. I know the things I've been through. It's just that, girl, do you remember what happened to us? You remember what happened? It was more like that. I wasn't expecting, when I told her things that happened without her, I wasn't expecting her to come on your show and to tell the world, because I told her I was going to sit back and watch. And she was saying, well, God is making her speak. So that was like, maybe I do need to speak. And maybe if I would have went to court when they told me to go to court, I wouldn't be going through the things that I'm going through right now. Well, it's like he's locked up now, so I feel like justice is working, so I'm not as much as scared. But at first, I wish I could get Roger Bonds. You should get Roger Bonds on the show.
Okay.
Like, you should get Roger Bonds on your show. And he called me. He asked me, could he give me my number to him? And I said yes. And they're basically saying if I came down there, if I testify, if I sue, I'm going to get sued back, so I'm not going to get any money. You know what I'm saying? They already told me the outcome of this. They already told me who, I already knew this thing. That's why I said that I can't say this me in the DG sweater. Now, I know I took a picture like that, but her story and her lawsuit has nothing to do with me. The apologies come into her.
Yeah, but you didn't say that until now when you got busted. You didn't say that until the courts released this right here. And you can find this, actually, if you want to see the original clip to this, go to TMZ, because they got a whole thing on this. The judges, because Diddy's team, like I said, if you paid attention to the last couple of weeks, because of the phone calls and the text now stuff he was using and using other inmate shit, he got in trouble for all that. He was telling people to basically do a fucking smear campaign. Now, all of a sudden, then, not seconds later, this lady involves and says that she's the chick sitting on his lap right here. Fuck out of here, man.
And she brings up, here's the other thing that should have been another red flag. She brings up about she won't get no money. So why was she so concerned about that? That should have never been a thought in her mind at that point.
Right. Justice. Hold him accountable for what he did to me. I don't give a fuck about no money.
Right.
Most victims that this shit happens to, the last thing you want is some fucking money. Now, I don't knock the victims that civilly sue at all. Fuck it. Take them for what they can. If you can, they deserve to pay for what they've done. And if you can't make them pay criminally, because sometimes statute of limitations might be out of hand, There might not be enough evidence for a criminal case, but there is enough evidence for a civil case. You know what I mean? So, like, hey, go for it. But that's not initially what somebody wants. Now, if that's
No.
the only way somebody can get some accountability so people know what the fuck is going on, then okay, knock yourself out.
Yeah, but
But this
normally by the
lady,
time, sorry,
no, go ahead.
I was going to say, normally by the time they get to the civil aspect of it, they've already tried the criminal aspect. They would rather see their perpetrator in prison.
Right, 100%. And this lady, since she filed her suit right a little bit after Cassie, she's been fighting to keep her name private. Again, that's why in the last couple days, the same law firm that represents Cassie is representing this woman. And that's why, like 2 days before they released her name, the judge made them to release her name. The law office came out and put a statement and said, we understand that there is somebody going around stating that they are our client. The young lady that is saying that she is our client is not our client. Our client's name has not been released. And you know what I mean? Like, she's not our client. So for a law firm to have to come out in a global case and say, hey, by the way, and like I said, just a couple days before that, he was getting in trouble because he's trying to do a smear campaign.
Yep.
This is what power and control does. And that's what we're watching happen fold out. And they're doing this because even in his own phone call to whoever, I think his son or somebody he was talking to, all he needs is one juror to doubt. If you can get one juror to doubt, then he gets a mistrial. You get 3 mistrials, boom, you're done. They can't try you no more.
She was forced to reveal herself, and we both went through similar things. And I'm just sorry. And not enough sorries for me to say sorry.
All right, let me see. Well, we definitely appreciate you.
Oh my
You for clearing
gosh.
that up, man, for the audience. You know what I'm saying? We definitely, man, you went through a lot of trauma, man, and our hearts go out to you. You know what I'm saying? You definitely went through a lot of things with your experience with Diddy, and we definitely thank you for clearing up the issue with the photos, because everyone had an issue with the DNG photos. But thank you for clearing up, the experience you went through, and also that you were the young lady that was on the table.
Yes. Not the lady with the flat chest with the long body. I wasn't the Canadian woman. I'm Lamisha Fuller, as Walk with Ancestors said. I'm her on the table. It's just, all this is just like, it's a little stressful, and I'm just so ready for this to be over. I'm just ready for all this to be over.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, okay. All right. And I mean, obviously, there's a little bit left. I highly recommend you guys going and checking out the full interview when you get a chance.
Right. So he's done playing on that end. So again, you guys can go. This whole thing is on my community page. I'm gonna look up the other one real quick because I do want to show some stuff out of that.
This just blows my mind. She's doing this. God. And here's the other thing that I look at. Are there going to be more like her because of the smear campaign thing? And, Diddy has been denied bail several times. Is this going to give his attorney another reason to try to get bail again?
I mean, he can try, but
Well, sure.
I don't think he's gonna get that at all.
Well, and I don't either, but
into the source. Your source.
I don't think he's going to get it either. But what I'm saying, though, in the back of their mind, we've got women now coming forward that are lying. So why is my client sitting in jail without bail? I mean, that's a huge thing that's going on. They're doing everything they can to get him out on bail and promising the world. And it's just good to have a judge at this point that is not playing and not allowing this person out. He is a monster. He has no business out. And Christy, it might be she sees dollar signs and never have been a victim. You're right, Christy. That's what we're talking about. And Christy wouldn't have make her unliable to testify that. Well, but something. Here's my thing with this Misha or whatever her name is. I'm sorry. She has made an allegation and then now is doing this word salad, backtracking that's not what she said. And we know that's what she said. And then she says, well, we all know Pitty did the same thing to everybody. Well, no, we don't know
Right.
that because it hasn't gone through court yet. Sorry, I was just babbling while you found what you were looking for.
No, it's good. So this is a video. I'm gonna play some of it. I'm gonna play some of it, and I'm gonna scan through some of it. But I think it's a good. I mean, it's a 45-minute video, so I'm probably not gonna play all of it. But I definitely want to play the first like 15, 20 minutes. We'll scan through, because so this guy that started. Now, this is obviously this video. I just think it's something interesting to put in your pocket and listen to, right? And I think once you start listening to it, you'll understand, especially if you're following the case, why I think it's important to listen to. But it starts off talking about the young lady that was shot in the face when J Lo and P Diddy were at the club or whatever. The same YouTube creator. So the same YouTube creator that just did this interview with this alleged victim that is coming out, but it's not her story. She's not the Jane Doe. Also tried to recently get an interview with this young lady that was pew-pewed in the face. Well, I mean, I'll let her. They'll play it out, but they'll talk about that a little bit and how shady he is. And remember, I was saying earlier about there was supposedly he's managing these chicks or whatever. Which when somebody says they're managing anything, I'm like, really? What are you doing? Are you really a manager, or are you pimping these people out? So we're just gonna go over, and like I said, it's just something that I think it's worth a listen, and you can take it for what you want. You don't have to take any of it. None of it can make sense to you. Give your opinion though in the comments. And then obviously Christine. But we're gonna listen to this for a second.
Hey yo, thanks for tuning into The Source, your source for celebrity news. Check this out. Diddy turned YouTuber Natanya Rubin, the woman who allegedly got pow-powed in the face by Diddy in Club New York back in 1999, is now alleging that YouTuber Lionel B took a payout from Diddy's investigators and conspired with P. Diddy to lure her to his studios so that he could have her murdered. Source, can you please play the clip? So he said, my idea is to have you as my first exclusive in-person guest on my podcast. Typically my shows are on a Zoom-style interview. However, I've upgraded my studio this year and I'm moving forward to doing everything in person. Also, those videos tend to do much better on YouTube, but people can connect organically. I don't pay for interviews, however, I can cover your travel and hotel stay. Now, why would I, a woman who is a survivor of pow pow in the face, that still has an active bounty on my head, let a stranger, aka content creator, know my personal information for him to buy me a ticket and hotel and all that? What's so important about him that I need to go to wherever he is to do an in-studio guest? That's number one. Number two, since March 4th, well, has anybody seen an in-studio guest on his channel? Have you seen one? What's so special about me? Why do you need me to be your in-studio guest? Since March, we're in December 2nd. Anybody seen an in-studio guest on his channel? Or they all been on Zoom? Answer me that, somebody. You haven't seen any in-studio guests, right? So what is so particularly special about me? Let me ponder for a second. It's really copyright, so I'm going to break it in between. I'm going to add a book. Now, why a woman who is far older than him starts as a whip, even with a 9mm bullet in my head? Do I look like we love them? I'm going to give a stranger my name, address, date of birth, and everything so that he can fly me to where he is. Why do I need a vacation or to go to where he is that bad? It was.
And from my understanding, she's been in kind of like, yes, she's public about her story and stuff, but she's very private about where she's at and different things like that. Because since all of this has happened with her and getting pew-pewed in the face, and she's kind of been in hiding. And I guess she says, like other victims of Diddy, he's been harassing her and throughout the years. So,
And people
attempted
disappear.
murder. Sound like a rape to me.
Yes, people disappear, people's cars get blown up, people die from pneumonia. You know what I mean? Like it's just a lot of weird shit.
Out of the safety and the confines of my home and my.
So I can understand her concerns on, okay, well, what the fuck? You've never had anybody in your there's not one person that's been in your interview that you live interview in your studio. Now all of a sudden you want to do all this stuff and you want to pay for me to come out there, pay for my hotel, pay me to come tell my story. And this is the same time that, there is people going around trying to find out where victims are and they're harassing victims and all this other shit.
I think she's smart.
Get me to another location so that I can be.
What'd you say?
Good thing she's smart. This is a smart woman
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I mean, it's better to be safe than sorry, right? Like, I
Absolutely.
100% understand her cautiousness.
Okay, no.
Mhm.
No. You make pancakes? No. What do you guys think you wanted to drag me away from the safety and confines of my home for? Why? Let's forget about Lionel B. Lionel B, the character assassinator. Been trying to drag me out of since March 2024. Cassie only filed her lawsuit in November. Why have you been trying to get me since March? You want to kill me in March? So what were you dragging me out for? It was a setup. Attempted murder. Okay, so according to Natanya, Lionel B reached out to her several times in March, asking her to come to his newly renovated studio to do an in-person live interview, which she thought was strange because Lionel B isn't known for doing in-person interviews or live videos. Now, Natanya claims that in order to sweeten the pot and coax her into coming to his studio, Lionel B offered to pay all her expenses, including plane tickets for her and her daughter, hotel rooms, and also all her meals and other travel expenses. However, in order to make the arrangements, he would need some of her personal information. According to Natanya, Lionel B was pretty pressed, and his request was a little bit sus. So she turned him down and cut off all communications with him. But during a later date, when she was doing an interview with another YouTuber, the YouTuber told her that they had a quote unquote super fan that wanted to come on and meet her. And before she knew it, Lionel B had inserted himself into the interview that she was doing. Now, during that podcast, Lionel B attempted to befriend Natanya once again, and after the interview was over, they agreed to do interviews on each other's channels, but this time via Zoom. However, Natanya found it strange that when she was doing her interview with Lionel B, he introduced his wife to her as a quote-unquote superfan, which led her to believe that Lionel B had purposely contacted the YouTuber who she was doing the initial interview with and asked them to make the connection so that he could try to ingratiate himself to her once again so that she would ultimately offer him, as Biggie would say, one more chance to get in her inner circle. All right, so why is this important? It's important because Natanya is now insinuating and alleging that the reason why Lionel B was posing as a quote unquote super fan and trying to get close to her is because he was contacted and corrupted by Diddy's investigators, and they paid him off to lure her to his location where Diddy could finally have one of his goons take her out. Okay, so if you don't know what investigators Natanya is talking about, here's a reminder. Allegedly, Diddy has private investigators tracking down influencers in California, influencers who post unflattering things about Puff. Apparently asking those influencers face to face whether someone's paying them.
So you guys are private investigators who come to my private home asking about influencers? This is very uncomfortable, you guys. Okay, explain. No, you're at my home.
You say you had all these same kinds of questions. What did they want, and what ultimately did you talk to them about? We ended up being on the phone over speaker talking to one another, and I had the very same reaction that Sam had. I thought something is neat right here. They were being very vague in what they were asking me. They were sprinkling in mentions of P. Diddy throughout their questioning. The conversation continued, and eventually they let out that they are private investigators trying to figure out if I'm being paid to talk about Diddy and his connection to other celebrities. They gave the same offer that they gave Sam and said, had you been paid, we'd love to pay you more to disclose exactly who that was. And they even went on to say that they would pay more than whatever it was I was being paid from the initial entity to share the opposite story. Now, I don't know if they were talking about this in reference to P. Diddy or if another.
And this is what's crazy, right? Because there's so many different moving pieces to this. It's like if you miss a day or you don't pay attention, but it's crazy how all of these different scenarios entwine with each other.
Yep.
And
It's
I
common
mean, and it
denominator.
also that's the word, common denominator. And like, you're gonna tell me it's a coincidence? It's a coincidence that he was on his jailhouse recordings, which also is all over YouTube, so all of you all could listen to them, and listen to the live tweets and different things that happened from court and different things that he got in trouble for, using other inmates' numbers and stuff so he can contact people to start smear campaigns and all this other shit. And let's not forget when he was picked up by the feds early. Why was that? Because he was going to turn himself in the next day, but they said, no, we're going to grab you because the whole time you've been in New York and leading up to this, all the way to the grand jury, you were harassing victims.
Yep.
So I don't know. That's why I think like it's nice to, and that's why when I find somebody that I believe, because I know everything that's going on, and they bring all of it in, like kind of like this channel's doing right now, and I will also share this on my community page as well. to bring it in and kind of connect the dots per se, you know? Because I don't have the editing skills. I can tell you guys all day long, but you know, sometimes
And
visuals are good.
and in the beginning, they were saying that people were saying, "Oh, he's not getting out because he's a flight risk." That's not true. That
Yeah,
judge
that
is
was
not
actually
letting him. I'm sorry.
go ahead, sorry. No, go
I
ahead.
was going to say that judge is not letting him out. And it's not because of a flight risk. I mean, that could be part of it, but it's the fact that they know what he's going to do to these victims because he's already done it while he was sitting in jail waiting for a bail hearing.
Well, and if you go back and you listen to Tessa Tells, there's a couple different people that break it down, and they've gotten the transcripts and stuff like that. But that's the judge's response in his letter. You know, and well, actually, when they were going back and forth when the live tweet was happening, the judge they were going over like, you know, all the victims and harassing and all that kind of stuff. And the judge is like, so is flight risk also a thing? And they were like, well, yeah, that too. You know, that's also a part of it too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the flight risk thing was on the bottom of the barrel compared to all the different shit that he's done. And just like the judge said, you want me to let him out of bail and he can't even behave while he's in jail under our supervision, and he's harassing and he's trying to start smear campaigns and all this other shit while he's in jail.
Yep. Yep.
So,
It makes no sense.
right.
Celebrity, maybe in his network, hired them. It was very, very strange. Okay, so basically, Natanya believes that Diddy's private investigators approached Line LB, and they were like, listen, all you gotta do is use your YouTube channel to lure out Natanya Rubin, and we'll give you this money. And guess what? And then, after the investigators said that to him, Line LB was like, alright. Listen, let me tell you something. This right here is the perfect example of how a fake Diddy story gets made. Because as far as I can remember, everything between Lionel B and Natanya Rubin was all good just a week ago. What was it, Jay-Z? It was all good just a week ago. So let's take a look at how this whole thing went from 0 to 60 with the quickness, and how now Natanya Rubin, who was mad cool with Lionel B just a week ago, is all of a sudden now saying that Lionel B was hired by Diddy's investigators to lure her to his studio so that he could murk her. Source, can you please rewind the tape so that we can see what happened between these two weeks ago? And check it. I'm going to be running through this video non-stop today. So be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I want to present to you now our brother Lionel B in his house. Let's give him a round of applause. Throw some applause in the chat. Give my brother some applause.
Yo, yo, yo.
Greetings, 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 my brother. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I am phenomenal. First and foremost, welcome to the Nerd Herd family. Now you're in the Nerd Herd family.
All right now. What's up, Nerd Herd?
Hey, give my brother some love in that chat, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. We thoroughly appreciate you being here. And like I said, we talked the other day, and what an amazing conversation. So, brother, welcome to our channel. Please, by all means, introduce yourself to the Nerd Herd family.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy Lionel B from the Lionel B Show. I'm a YouTuber. I guess you can call me celebrity news. I do celebrity news and things like that. Man, some of you guys may have got a chance to catch some of my crazy videos I'll be doing.
Not crazy videos, right? Especially, please tell the people about your incomparable viral video that made your channel a sense of hype that it got you to this place.
Oh man, okay. So I did the video with Jay-Z and Offset. It looks like they were having kind of like a altercation. Never expected that video to do the numbers that it did. It just, I think within a few hours it went up to over 1 million views. Currently, right now, that video is at about 9.2 million. So that's like insane for a celebrity blogger to get those type of numbers. So I was really blessed and fortunate, to be able to have that opportunity to meet a lot of success in YouTube. And actually, guys, I did that video when I was actually homeless. I threw a shot in the dark, didn't know what was going to happen. I think the first video I put out, it got like 500 views a day. I'm like, whoa, like I'm thinking like that's like numbers. Like, oh my God, whoa, and I think I made like a couple dollars on it. Kept going. I did another video. That one did really well. I made like $15. So me and my son were in the car in the middle in Florida in the hot sun. Can't turn on the car because we're gonna waste gas and don't have no money to get gas in there. So one day I'm just sitting there in the car, windows down, and I'm like looking at my AdSense account. Yo, we made another $15. So my son like look at me like, really? Like 15? Like what are we gonna do? But I kept grinding, kept doing it. Before you know it, that 15 was like 100 or something. So I'm like, damn, okay, we made enough to be able to get gas. But God was like, oh no, I'm not done yet.
Let me tell you something. I love the fact, and first and foremost, thank you for feeling comfortable enough and trusting me enough with that part of the story that you've never shared before. You know what I heard when you said that?
What's that?
Asking for change. God was saying, and I say this to people all the time, if I can trust you, I can trust you with much. God will let you know. See what you're willing to do for your friend yourself. So I can give you the reward that I have in store for you. And your willingness to put your pride aside for whatever.
And I just want to just pause real quick and you know what's even more odd is Kanye lost most of his endorsements a year ago from distancing himself from them. Have you not seen that Kanye also has lawsuits? Just saying, Chrissy. I can't remember if I have any uploaded in my members only chat or not, because I only have like 2 or 3 maybe. I need to do that tonight. That's what I'm gonna do when I get offline here in a little bit. But yeah, Kanye's got he got issues too. He
Yeah.
got issues too. And you 100% right on the whole Jay-Z thing. Cricket is a motherfucking quiet as a motherfucking church mouse.
Right.
To say,
I'm trying to get through this.
child, I need to. You need to stand for him and do that because you know
This
you're a
is
child.
kind of the long part, but it's good to lay this footwork so people can understand. I'm trying to get it to where y'all can see the best without me putting their logos and shit in it.
Just bust right through that lining of protection, and God said, I got you. I got you. And I'm so proud of you. I know you guys all know Lionel. Please follow Lionel right now. Go leave a comment, videos. And let's make, we're going to do this thing. We're going to connect and make sure we all get this. Man, I'm honored. I am honored to be in your presence. I'm honored to be in your presence. And look, if you're in this fact, I'm okay. Don't have like other information. So much my you're welcome here anytime. You're official nerd. You're a part of the nerd. Okay. Okay. And if you want me to come over here, I'll be there. I'll look forward to it. All the things we're going to do, we'll talk offline. I appreciate it. Okay. The time wasn't thinking about Lionel B trying to murk her like 2 weeks ago. And as a matter of fact, she was over there telling him how blessed and highly favored by God he was. So the question is, how in the world did Lionel B go from being a viral YouTuber to all of a sudden now being a Diddy assassin? I mean, what changed between then and now? I'll tell you what changed. What changed is this. Lionel B decided that he was going to be greedy and become the first contestant on a new game show called For You Camping Goes Wrong. So this is funny. Lionel B made his first viral video when he was homeless in the streets, living in his car with his son. So to Lionel B, YouTube equals money, and money equals him never having to be homeless again. So one of Lionel B's priorities is trying to figure out how to make more viral videos so that he can make more money, because money equals security, and that makes sure that him, his new wife, and his son will never have to be homeless again. So when Lionel B saw that Natanya Rubin was making the rounds on YouTube, doing interviews on Tisa Tells and also Make It Make Sense, Lionel B started seeing visions of money dancing around like sugar plums in his head. But in order to make his video go viral, seeing that Natanya had been on a couple of other channels, he's got to do something different. So he's like, Natanya, I want you to come into my studio. But she's like, no go. So he's like, all right, let's do it on Zoom. And she's like, all right, but my fee is $5,000. Now, Lionel B doesn't want to come off the 5K. Hence, no video of him interviewing Natanya. First of all, Natanya, she did ask for that $5,000, but he didn't show the whole conversation, because Natanya showed me the whole conversation on WhatsApp. She showed it to me. So Natanya, because she's not friendly with Diddy, because she went to the party, okay, she's not friendly with Diddy, she's scared of who could be under Diddy's spell. So she does little tests. So Lionel B wanted to see her so much. I will show you the screenshot. I will like put it on my community tab or something. So yeah, he wanted to Lionel B. He decided that he wanted to make Natanya come to him so much, and he wanted to interview Natanya so much, not do it by live, but he wanted her to come to the studio, which he never asked of anyone. All the interviews that Lionel B does are always like, by Zoom or something, because why would he, why would he why would someone pay for the plane of someone? That's ridiculous. So he was saying to Natanya, this is going to be my first ever interview. Yeah, he was really, really, really wrong. You're right, Lilo. He said that he was going to pay for the hotel for Natanya. He said he was going to pay for her plane. She just needed to tell him where she was, because Natanya doesn't want people to know where she is, because that's.
And I mean, I can understand that, right? I can understand her not wanting people to know where she lays her head at after everything she's been through. And she's had 20 plus years with dealing with Pitiful and his fucking squad, right? So, yeah, I could see that. I have to stop and talk. What do you think, Christine?
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't be disclosing any of this.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
mean, and the cases are going to be opened, so people are watching their back and putting their heads on a swivel, because even though Diddy is put away, he still has people out there that think they might be able to help him.
Right. Well, I mean, that's obvious, right? Like these little goons that have been going around, like trying to pay off YouTube creators and shit. Like when I first heard that, I was like, somebody's like, "Oh, that's full of shit." I was like, "Nah." I was like, "You don't understand how this works, baby.
Nope.
We just starting to see the shenanigans. I can promise you that. This ain't even. This is just buckle up, buttercups, because it's gonna be a bumpy ride till Cinco de Mayo. That's when his court date starts, by the way,
Oh, is it?
if he makes it. Yeah, yeah, crazy, right?
Yeah, the irony
he
in that one.
Yeah, I know, right? And 100%, he has those connections. This is when you're dealing in this kind of world, you hear me talk all the time, and not only just me, but anybody that understands how this world works. It's all about power and control. You know what I mean? And honey, I'm telling y'all, it's
Well,
going to get interesting.
and there's people out there that are going to get named that still have
Yeah,
power and control and want to keep it. So they're going to silence people.
yep. And I'll keep saying it. I'll be surprised if he makes it to his court date. I will. All right, let's get through this part because there's a part coming up I really want you all to see. And again, this kind of ties everything in. But does it make sense, any of the stuff that they're saying? Am I crazy for being like, I think we should listen to this? Now, I
No,
don't know
it
if anything
makes
will come.
perfect sense.
That's what I thought too. I was listening to it last night. I was like, oh, shit. I was like, okay. And I didn't even get through the whole video. I'm going to watch the rest of the video tonight. But there's this and this part that's coming up, and then we'll take a break from it.
Yeah.
And we'll finish the rest of it tomorrow if need be.
She's refused to not say the truth. Since she refused to say that it's fine that did this to her, that, she never gave her story. So she's extremely careful, especially with Diddy, maybe getting bail, maybe getting this, maybe getting that. So Nathaniel always does some tests. And Lionel B was ready to pay for the plane, for the hotel, for the this, for the that. He was ready to pay for all of this. And then he even asked her, and how much would you want me to pay you? And she said, you know what? Give me $5,000. We're going to do it live. Because you don't need to pay for the plane. You don't need to pay for the hotel. You don't need to pay for all of this. And then suddenly now, what happened? Suddenly now, what happened? Oh, she's the problem. She's asking for $5,000. She's so thirsty. She's so this. She's so that. She's so this.
Natanya Rubin also confirmed that she did in fact tell Lionel B that her going rate to do an interview on YouTube is $5,000. But it's not because that's some secret test that she uses to see if she can trust people on YouTube. It's simply her going rate to do an interview. So
Listen, and there's nothing wrong with that. People that have their are public speakers or tell their story or whatever, yeah, you get paid. When I go somewhere to go do speaking engagements and stuff, I get paid for that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not coming in. And now I will say, if there's a youth group or something like that, I might look past my pay, or I may even lower my pay. But when I go to speak somewhere, oh, you paying me to speak, you paying for my travel expenses, you paying for my hotel, all of it. Like, this ain't no joke. Shit, this is traumatizing. And I'm yeah, I don't get pimped out anymore. So, what's up, Thomas?
you keep pressing me, and you keep pressing me, and you keep pressing me. And then you're like, well, how much for a Zoom interview? And I said, 5,000. Why are you mad? Because I know my worth.
Right.
I'll have I have already received that 3 times. 3 times. So you think you know stuff, but you don't know.
okay, so now Lionel B can't get Natanya to come on the show. So he pivots because he still has to find a way to make a viral video. And boy, does he get lucky, because here comes Adria English on YouTube sharing her Diddy stories. But this is where Lionel B makes a fatal mistake and gets caught up in the game of when YouTube pimping goes wrong. Okay, so this is what I believe happened. Lionel B interviewed Adria on the show, and the video got 1.1 million views. So, Adria, who's used to allegedly getting pimped out by dudes like Anthony Gallo, conspires with Lionel B to create a mini Diddy pyramid scheme. And this is how it works. Lionel B agreed to manage Adria, which is weird, because who needs a YouTube manager? Anyhow, Lionel...
And what's crazy is, remember we talk about that little bit of truth and mixing it with lies. She's been at some of the Diddy parties, right? So that's why people at first were like, "Oh, wait a minute," you know what I mean? But again, like what's said earlier, she even in her interview, she talks about a lot of other things that she's seen happen to other people. You know what I mean? Like, that's a big part of her talking when she's talking.
Yeah.
B agreed to manage Adria and use his YouTube connections and celebrity to pimp her out to different channels to do interviews. And in return, he would get 20% of the money that she made from making the rounds on different platforms. But
this wasn't enough because Adria and Lionel then realized that if we add another Diddy victim into the mix, we can double our money. So Adria English then introduces Lamisha Fuller into the mix. But for this whole pyramid scheme to work, they have to roll Lamisha out right. So Lionel B makes the video in which he claims that Lamisha Fuller is the Jane Doe who was sitting on Diddy's lap in the D&G t-shirt, and that she's also the Jane Doe who was laying on a sushi table in front of Diddy and Michael Bivins. Now, they think that this scheme is going to work because in the lawsuit, Jane Doe's face is blacked out. And in the picture that Lionel B purposely chose to use of the girl on the sushi table, her face is blacked out too. So they're like, yeah, they all gonna believe this is Lamisha. Now, Lamisha Fuller is all for the game because Lamisha Fuller is used to walking the real streets. So walking these YouTube streets is not a problem. And the whole thing works because Adria, Lamisha, and Lionel realize that Adria and Lamisha can be used to validate one another's stories, especially since Adria English really was at some Diddy parties. Now,
Right.
Lionel B, Adria, and Lamisha were also banking on the fact that most YouTubers are really scared to call out alleged Diddy victims for fear of being canceled. I'm kind of like, I'm trying to be fair. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really trying to be fair because I do have some knee-jerk things I want to say, but it's like that's not fair. Like, I really want this to be just pretty much factual and then a little bit opinion. You know what I mean? So Misha, I will admit, even though I had to pause Misha's. I haven't even been able to watch part 2 yet. Because the first part, it took me a couple hours. I had to pause it. I had to.
I'll be honest, I couldn't. I watched the first one, and by the time I got done with the first one, first of all, I was just triggered out of my mind. But mostly I was like, dude, she's not telling the truth. Like everything I keep telling people, my discernment, I listen to it, my gut feeling, whatever you want to call it, has been my gift. It's the whole reason why I'm still alive to this day. I wouldn't have survived the shit that I survived if that wasn't my gift. And it was like, I call my alerts in my body was like, rah, 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 and I still have yet watched part 2. And supposedly there was a part 3. So, and a lot of, she's right.
What would be the point of doing? I mean, what part 1 did, made part
Right.
2. And why would there be a point of a 3?
Yeah, well, that's what people are like. Go ahead and drop that part 3. People are still calling for him to drop the part 3 because they want to see what she said. And they're like, nah, stand on it. You don't see this shit all the way through. You don't let 1 and 2 out, let 3 out too. So I haven't went and checked and see if he has, but I know that he released that interview today that we listened to of hers earlier.
Right.
Get water. I don't like to drink water.
And I get why people, were this creator. She says, a lot of YouTubers don't want to get canceled because sitting there saying that a victim is lying. You know what I mean? That's a big deal, and a lot of people can come for you for that. You know what I mean? But as far as this channel goes, we have said it from day one. I have said it after, a lot of you all came in here and said, hey, Summer, have you watched that video? I said, not yet. Finally, I had watched it, and I came on the next day, and I said, no, I'm not feeling it. And I kept saying, she said numerous times about needing a lawyer. But what do you need a lawyer for? You're suing him civilly. You know what I mean? But I am not. I am a survivor, and I am no, I don't have no problem saying, I'm not feeling this.
It's very wrong, and I was with some stuff even censored out, like some of the really words, were censored out and stuff. So it's like, even though I did have that reaction, and I do believe her, I do believe the emotions that were appearing on screen. I believe that was real. But I think there's a possibility, based on discrepancies in the public record, I think there's a possibility that some of the facts that Misha presented were perhaps not exactly what happened. I mean, for real. Some of these YouTubers were so concerned about potentially discrediting a real Diddy victim that they had to have an impromptu group meeting. Oh, Mims went away. Maybe a knee-jerk reaction to maybe me even, right? Like, want to make an excuse, like, well, maybe it's, maybe she didn't remember, or maybe she, this and that. But it's like, no, at some point, like, there's factual discrepancies, and if our loyalty has, lies with the truth, then you have to keep going to get to the truth. And when there's different facts, then you haven't gotten to the truth yet, in my opinion. And so it does feel, Mim said it, I don't know, maybe he got disconnected, maybe he'll come back, maybe he has to run, but he said it earlier, like, nobody wants to be discrediting a victim. Now, although I respect all of these YouTubers for meeting up to really discuss how to approach this situation, I also respect people like a Walk with the Ancestors who are like, nah, son, this issue's capped.
Yeah.
It's not you. You said there are 5 tables, and your big ass wasn't on not nan one of them.
Listen.
Not nan one of them.
So this is the video. This is the picture that she's saying is her. That's not her. Now, in today's interview, she tried to say, well, I'm not the Canadian lady. Come on, dude.
I don't give a fuck if you was this size. What this size? Nothing. It's not you. You sent me this one. Like,
That's not you.
and it's still not you on this table.
Right.
You a liar. You always been a liar.
So it's now you heard her say in the last interview that we listened to, I'm not the flat chested girl. I'm not the Canadian girl. Okay, well, what girl are you?
You call me soulless? But the side of the righteous, man. You just came over here with the biggest hogwash of story, and you mad because didn't nobody file for it. You can't be used to people believing your bullshit. I know that ain't what you're saying. You are used to people believing your bullshit. Now, part of the issue was that originally, Lionel B had dropped a controlled interview that he was able to edit, and people like Natanya Rubin and Popcorn Planet really thought that Lamisha was chained up. Like I was saying, I turned my back on God, knowing that I always had the power. I always the benefits. I don't stress about money. God told me to stop living in the streets. God took that pimp mentality away from me. I used to get a rush and a thrill from talking about hustling. But now I feel dirty when I think about it. Like, but here's the deal. I'm not trying to be funny, but I was in the containers that said green on it. I'm talking about being in the ocean. I held on to a girl. This was Allie Carter. I held on to her. We hugged each other. But we were being shipped and we think we about to die because it's a storm and it's the middle of the ocean. Unalive. I mean, I know we thought we were gonna be unalive because we are in some creeks. PJC, we just hear it. You just feel it rocking like it's about to fall. We could have fell into the ocean.
Now, what's crazy to me is so Allie Carter is another person that has came out and states that she's been through some things. I do believe Allie Carter has definitely been through some things. And I actually do believe that there's a very, very, very strong possibility that she is one of the children that were involved in in the Diddy shit. But I don't know, dude. I just still think old girl's lying. I'm sorry. I just can't. It just doesn't sit right. Summer, you are too young to know who wrote a song about you before you were born.
I am
Oh,
woman,
what
hear
song
me
is it?
roar. I used to love Helen Reddy. I listened to Helen Reddy growing up because my mama. Sorry.
No, I think I've heard that song before. I think I've
Well,
heard
I
it
don't know
before.
if that's the one he's thinking about or not.
Oh, okay. What song are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to pop it, which one it is.
Right. Mute yourself, Christine. I can hear you in the
Oh,
background.
sorry.
Thank you.
Somebody said, Misha, I'm here for Misha, fellow survivor of trap. And better, you're a sister in Christ. You are so important and brave, and you're worth it. I know you're telling the truth. Everybody knows. People, anybody with spiritual discernment knows, but once the
No. I'm going to bite you in your bullet because I got spiritual discernment. And honey, no. I knew right away because even when I got done, I talked to Christine. I was like, yeah, no, that bitch is lying.
Right? I Am Woman. Yes, I remember that. That's the song, I Am Woman. It's a good
listen
song.
to it again.
God don't bless no mess. God don't bless no mess. But once Lamisha and Adria started going live, it all went south. But yet and still, Lionel B, Adria, and Lamisha Fuller still thought that their mini Diddy pyramid scheme could work after a few YouTubers like me, A Walk with the Ancestors, and Tisa Tells, and others started poking holes in Lamisha's story.
Yep.
Because him, Lamisha, and Adria started studying people's YouTube channels and adjusting their stories based on the discrepancies that YouTubers were calling them out on. And they were also paying very close attention to what viewers like you wanted to see. For example, watch how Adria English specifically asked Natanya Rubin and Jaguar Wright what part of her story really resonated with them. Can I ask you a question? Sure. Okay, before Cassie popped out, whatever, yeah, I was always the girl in the back, Bite magazine. I'm sure people who have seen the magazine saw that. But when did you guys what did I say or when did you see me that made you want to be in this phone call with me right now? Like, what did I say or what did you see that resonated where you didn't say, this girl lying or she takes this loud?
Now the fact that I'm sorry, but the fact that she is like basically asking them, like, so what part of my story did you finally, believe enough to be able to sit with me and talk on it? Like, who asks that? Never
Yeah.
have I sat down. I've done tons of interviews. I've been in tons of newspapers, news stories, magazines, all kinds of shit. My story's fucking everywhere. And never once did I ask, when I got done asking these people that interviewed me, was like, hey, by the way, I was just curious. What part of my story did you believe? That's weird as fuck.
A lot. She has given off a lot of red flags. A lot.
100%. All right, we're going to listen to about 5 more minutes of this, and then I'm going to wrap it up because we've been on it for a while, and I do have to protect my own triggers because, man, this
Yeah.
just got me hot.
It's I Am Woman. That is the song.
Okay. I have heard that song before.
Yeah, and the lyrics in the middle where that they sing over, it says, I am woman, I am invincible, I am strong. I am woman, I am invincible, I am strong.
All right, let's listen to
Said, what happened that you even got on that? Okay.
I watched the interview, and when you were talking about your relationship with the Steve guy,
He's the one that started it all. Jake Steve. Yep. He been getting paid for over 20 years.
sweetheart.
Now, another mistake that Lionel B made is that he was so focused on his girls making that money that he went live instead of doing like a pre-recorded video. And he allowed Lamisha and Adria to start rattling off at the mouth. And Adria said a bold-faced lie that none of them could walk back. Andrea English was like, yeah, tell him, Lamisha. Tell him what you told me. Tell him how Natalia Rubin is over there acting funny because she used to rock with Diddy and she slept with you. Now, everybody and their mama, their mama's mama, and their mama's 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 mama knows darn well that that's not true. But Andrea English took the fake Diddy stories one step too far because that Hennessy was over there Hennessying. Now, in order to save the bag, Lionel B quickly cut to a caller. But the caller created a further rift in the threesome because while the caller was online, the caller pointed out directly to Adria English that she could actually be arrested because while she was telling her Diddy stories online, she actually admitted to committing mad crimes, especially when she said that she knew that Lamisha was 14 years old when she was at the Diddy parties. Because when she was 26 years old, she says that she met up with Lamisha in the bathroom, and Lamisha told her that she was 14. And she was like, you know what? Just tell him you're 17. Now, after the caller pointed that out, both Adria and Lionel B both got spooked, and he quickly cut her from the video. I mean, she disappeared from that video quicker than David Copperfield doing a magic trick. Anyhow, after that situation occurred with the caller, Adria and Lionel B have a conversation. But they all talk after these videos air. Anyhow, during that conversation, Adrian was like, yo, how are you going to be my manager and let me get set up like that? I don't even want to deal with you anymore. And she drops Lionel B as her manager. Then, the very next day, she pops up on All Access Media and she tries to backpedal the whole Lamisha story. And she's like, listen, I was drugged out. How in the world am I supposed to know who I met in the bathroom and what age they said they were? How am I supposed to know that she was 14? I mean, and I certainly didn't tell her to say she's 17. So in the bathroom, she, according to her, I don't recall, but she said that she told me that she was 14 years old, and she said that I said, well, tell him you're 17. Which doesn't even make any sense because who am I telling her to tell that to? If Diddy and everybody already knows they kidnapped her and she's there underage, who would I be telling her to tell that they're 17 to if you're already there at the party? Well, Denzel didn't give a fuck. He was there minding his own business with his wife. So when she says that, then I say, well, tell him you're 17. I don't understand who I'd be telling that they're 17 to if Diddy has you there at 14. You know what I mean? Obviously, Diddy and whoever else put you on a jet and had you there in years, they know you're underage. So I don't understand why it's turning into my moral responsibility on my own to have been the one to have saved her back then. I don't understand it. I needed saving my damn self, and that's why I came forward and filing my own lawsuit. And Misha contacted me, and I decided to talk to her. I could have ignored her or act like I didn't remember her, like Jaguar Wright and Natanya are acting like if she's telling the truth. Because according to Misha, she's had past dealings with Jaguar Wright and Natanya. I never have. They all know me for some reason. Everybody did their research and knew who I was. I didn't know who nobody was. Oh my goodness. Do you guys see how quickly Adria English is over there backpedaling her story like she's Michael Jackson doing a moonwalk on the stage during Motown 25? But it doesn't end there, because then Adria English continued to throw Lionel B and Lamisha under the bus. Same thing with Lionel B. I said, wow, I watch you, Lionel B. I can't believe you want me to interview. You do? Let's show. We did the one interview, the numbers went crazy. Because Lionel B gave me money up front and rev share. I'm not doing anything for free. He gave me my back end deal. And so I said, watching the numbers went up, I'm like, shit. Then he was like, let's do part two. That's why I was like, I'm going to put on a white dress and let him know. Let him see she Diddy and his motherfucker. And after that went good, I was like, you know what? We doing good together. Why don't you just manage me? All these calls I'm getting, I'm too busy. I'm driving. I'm over here taking care of a son, dog, this and that, trying to stay cute. Why don't you manage me? And all the calls are coming out direct to you. You work out a deal and then let me know. I asked him. He said, I'm with it. He gave me a contract. We was locked in. I said, make it automatically renewable every year unless either party decides to cancel. I was happy with Lionel B. We had plans for January and all that. It wasn't until he put me on the line and had his girlfriend, weird ass, ugly ass, fat or skinny, either fat or she's skinny, either one, and his weird ass sister get on there and think they're going to drop their cash outs in the middle of a live that has something to do with me, Misha, Jaguar, and Natanya. These are irrelevant to the whole scenario, so I didn't understand it. And then he kept muting me. So I said, once he did that, you are not my manager. You're not working for me because you're working against me. You're working for the odds. And I really feel like you took a Diddy payout, really. Now, another mistake that Lionel B, Andrea English, and Lamisha Fuller made is that they didn't bank on the fact that Jaguar Wright was going to be over there like, hold up, who are these two yachts trying to push in on my Diddy money? Now, Lionel B, Lamisha, and Adria all thought that they could roll Jaguar into the scheme, but they underestimated the fact that Jaguar doesn't play when it comes to her Diddy money. And she was like, you know what? I'm getting ready to expose all of y'all. You know, my green screen here, do you see it says thanks, Zoe? That's my blink twice lighter. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is the interview. I
Wow.
watched this. I'm gonna end this after this. But this is where Jaguar starts calling her out on the blink twice. Now again, if you have not watched that movie Blink Twice, go watch it and then listen to her and the story that she's told, and everything outside of what's in this Jane Doe story comes from there. It's crazy because I remember I hadn't heard of Blink Twice, and then me and Curtis watched it because again, once her interviews and everything came out, so many people were like, "Oh my god!" Well, even before that, people were saying that this P Diddy stuff is like out of a scene of the Blink Twice, but I still hadn't watched it. But when her shit started coming out, and then everybody said it, I was like, you know what? Let me watch it, and I was just like, wow. So yeah.
Love that movie. It's so elegant. You know, it's quite the totem. You know, the yellow is for warning, and if you look through the film, on so many different occasions, yellow pops up. The weirdo guy with the glasses, the hard glasses, all upside down, trying to alert the girl that danger was there. I mean, it was a very elegantly written piece. And I mean, I've said myself that I have no doubt in my mind that they spoke with someone who had been there. So I just, yeah, it's true. They took it from my police statement. Interesting. What year was that? That was 2012. Okay. Now, you said something very interesting the other day. And let's just be clear. Neither one of us have spoken online, offline, other than with Natanya, correct? I seen you. What I told Adrian is that I seen you in the club, and I remember you speaking about with the Cuban good and stuff. And it was a strip. You said it was a strip club in Dallas, in North Dallas. Yeah, it's called Dallas Cabaret. Dallas Cabaret North and Dallas Cabaret South. Cabaret. And this was, you remember it specifically? It was in 2012. Yeah, because that's when I was living in the Island Hills in Oak Cliff. That's why I'm staying in Oak Cliff. That would be unfortunate. You weren't there? Exactly when was it that you were in the mental hospital? It was like in 2000 and I was there. I was 2005, 2006, something like that. That's when I got back home. That's how I got home because they were trying to. I need to inform you of some very real information about me, which can be easily charted on my Instagram. I'm a traveling informant and living in many different various places all over the world. I did not decide to move to Dallas, Texas until 2016. Now I did start working and.
All right, Christy. Yeah, I'm about to wrap up in about 5 minutes anyway. I'm going to finish this little part of their interview, and then I'm going to also share this video on my community page where you guys can go back and watch it and ingest it without the pause and all that kind of stuff and the speed up. It's definitely ties some shit together. Like when I was watching this last night, I was just like, oh.
Recording in Dallas before 2016 when I first started frequenting it in 2014 after I left Philadelphia with my family. And see, I had moved me and my son to Shreveport, Louisiana. Now, in between that time, I took a contract with Dwayne Wiggins, doing film and television production and recording and sound. In 2015, my son was arrested. I came back to Philadelphia. I got my family together. We moved to Dallas in 2016, and Giovanni came to that fall. Sweetheart, I was nowhere near Dallas, North Dallas, or a strip club in 2012 at all. Matter of fact, I was spending more time in Miami and Paris, nowhere near Texas. Yeah. But look, you always went out for that. Wait a second. I am telling you that story that you're telling about me as fact and true that you have repeated on several platforms now. Not possible. Never happened. Oh, I never talked to you? No, not in 2012, not at the strip club. Oh, I don't know what year. 2012 is the year I think that outside the paper. That's what you've been saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the year I remember them contacting me. But I was having a conversation with various people in the club. Because, like, you understand? Everybody was like coming to that club. Like a lot of people came to that club. I know who hangs out at Cabaret, and the reason why I know the girls at the strip club was because after I moved to Dallas in 2016, I was Lyft driving, and I always drove the girls home at night. Yeah, so that was 2016.
So is it possible then that it's just a mix of timelines or jagged memories, overlapping from, I don't know.
No, I'm not saying flat out she never met me or spoke to me at all. I did not know her. The only time I've ever spoken to this young woman was with Natanya. I had nothing but positive things to say, and I still feel the same way. I do not believe you should be doing all that you're doing. I think you need to get counseling.
Right.
I think you need to get in serious therapy immediately. I think you're doing yourself great harm.
Right.
Do you realize that the things that you're sitting here admitting on camera, online, unaliving babies and and such? I'm going to tell you this. I told the police, and they said I was in survival mode. That is the truth. It's the truth. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Police will tell you anything. Well, if you to admit things,
Right.
they can use them against you later in prosecution. Why did they prosecute me then when I was crying? I was telling I went through. Sweetheart, you ain't got to put it to me. But they said they sent me home. I'm not trying to be that straightforward. I'll come anyway, but they sent me home. They sent me home. I told them. Why did they go arrest him when I told him what he was doing? Why did they arrest him when they was coming in? All of these interviews that you're doing yourself great harm. Yeah, probably out, but the things that you're saying, they're gut wrenching. It's the truth. Yes, they're gut wrenching for people to listen to, so I can only imagine what it's like for you to keep swallowing and digesting this over and over again. It's literally bordering abuse. I understand what you're saying because I go back and I read the video. I look at the videos. I know you do, and I implore you to stop. They are not positive. None of them, not even the one we was praying on. None of them online are here to feast on your fame and use it for entertainment and fix abuse. That isn't what you need. You need help. I'm calling out help. You need therapy. You need help. Real help. And that's what the content creators cannot give you. Yeah. While whatever lawyer you have, everything you're saying is going to make it very hard for him to defend you in the future. And guess what? This footage will be here forever. You're not helping yourself. They already talked about what it's about. They already know helping yourself. And the amount of pressure that is about to lap on you. I don't think you, sweetheart, I literally came here as a gesture of love because when I see somebody going down a dangerous path, when they're about, oh no, I don't think you understand, my dear. I understand what you said because my mom said anything, but
I don't understand.
Sweetheart, what you're doing to yourself is cruel. It is cruel, okay? You understand what you hear what you're listening to? So you're gonna be proud of me, too. What you think you to do? What you said, already did. You're gonna pull tomorrow watch. Because you're too high strong. Probably gonna pop up. You know what's going first. This is why I really don't tell Angel. I think I tell her, don't tell her. She reached back out to me because she knows the truth. The truth don't come out, brother. That hurt. Oh, you're in court. But you're right. That's why I'm telling him I really don't want to do any more lives because it's not helping. I'm thinking I can release and talk about it, but it's not helping. But people are the ones who be aware of the things that's going on. This is not healthy. This is not therapy. Frustrating everything that happened to you before a group and a pit of vultures is not helping you.
Right.
It's not, but it happens to me. I've been shut up all my life. I've been shut up all my life. They tell me that shut up that brought you online is now contradicting everything you're saying. That's hers. She fired Lionel, and now you're being represented by him. There are conflicts of interest in this thing out the wazoo. Please stop this now. Adria has said things that she's witnessed about drug use regarding you. I don't know what's regarding you when she saw me, because I don't what the drug she saw me do. Other than me saying her Bible scripture, other than what else? All right, then tell me about Yellow Beezy's house. You being in Yellow Beezy's house. Saw her incident where he saw when he told them to kill me. That's what I said. I didn't tell her you don't lie to repeat that. They ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't know nothing about Yellow Beezy's house. She know about it. So I told her what the spot said. Since she knows so much, I don't know nothing about that. You just said Diddy did what at Yellow Beezy's house? I said I told her. They told me, tell people kill me. I was staring at him. You know that house is a trap house. Is it? It's because it's not a house. Why are you there? Because I live in the same place.
I've been in this for the snow because I think a lot of things that she's saying about.
He's trying to save every Galloway. He was a fucking killer. You don't want to tell the truth. We're gonna tell the truth. We're gonna tell the truth. She want to lie to a couple ago. She got scared yesterday. Me and her, we talk every day, and she already scared. Because she knew how old I was, and she used me as blackmail to get her an apartment, and he paid up 6 months. She got scared because they got he paid model. She started going to Miami. She started being a bang girl freak off her. She was into it. I remember all this stuff.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm hoping you guys can hear me. I want to put a pin in this just now. We're kind of touching on topics and areas where.
See, everybody playing champion, I'm playing champion, I'm recording. I'm recording about conversations. So she can discredit me all she wants. She's recorded. Well, girl, I know, but what's going to tell the people? The people don't need to know this. The people don't need to know this. The people don't need to know this. We just gonna put this narrative up. She did this, not me. So don't talk about me. I'm not upset. I want to get to her. I'm not upset because she already technically has been drugged into this. And I didn't want to get on there. I told her that confidence. I don't know Jaguar. She didn't know who I was. They was just telling a story. I just told her, and she got on there and she let talk about it because she's high in the car. I didn't tell her to do that. I was on there. I really started scratching like, I don't want to talk about this. This big sign and shit. Leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it. She kept talking. Okay, now she's talking and be online. And I did say that. So I would say that I said the things that I said. And I said the things that I've said, and I can admit that I said it, but it was not for her to use my story or not for her every conversation we have to get online or get on somebody's podcast and tell people.
Now, I hope that you peeped just how flustered yet coherent Lamisha got when she realized that the jig is almost up. And also, notice how she admits that her and Adria had a secret code, which is like the ear scratch, that they use to communicate with each other when they're making these videos. All right, so while all of this is going
All right. So there's a
Wow.
little bit left in the video. I'm going to share it, and you guys can go back and watch the rest of it. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. But do you see why I thought that was a good thing to tie all together?
Oh, absolutely. And you know something? She got the best advice that you've been saying on that interview.
Yep.
Tell her to get help.
Yeah. Crazy. I don't know. I hope the people around her help her because she's not in a good spot. She's not, And like I said, do I think stuff happened to her? Yeah, I do. Could it be, P. Diddy stuff? Sure. But could it not be? 100%. Doesn't mean that it's not still bad. Doesn't mean bad things didn't happen to her. You know what I mean? But this is not the way you do it. Just, try to discredit other survivors and jump on bandwagons of, whatever. Yeah, this ain't it. And whether she is or she isn't a victim, yes, it does matter, but what she's done definitely has to be called out as well.
Right. And nobody, I don't think anybody's going to deny that she has some abuse. Where and who it came from and how she's going about with the clout is the problem.
Yep. 100%. And you're right, Thomas. 100% men can be a part of domestic violence. And domestic violence and SA and all that. Same thing that can happen to women can happen to men. I mean, this case alone shows that there's male victims. There might even be more male victims than women victims. So, it can happen to men or women. We live in a society to where, men shouldn't talk about it and just keep it moving. And nah, we got to start talking about it. And we got to get through it. Like, we got to heal from it, so we don't repeat the cycles, so we don't project the trauma on someone else. And so we don't take other people's stories to avoid our own. You can take somebody else's story all day long, but until you deal with whatever you got going on, the same shit's going to continue to happen. You're not going to get any change. The behavior's still going to be the same. You got to put the work in. You got to go to trauma counseling. You got to, what I'm saying? You just got to put the work in all the way around. Accountability always starts with us. We can blame, and yes, what happened to us may not be our fault. And this is what I tell people when I sit with them. What happened to us is not our fault, but our healing is definitely our responsibility. Even the other night when we were talking to somebody and we are talking about forgiveness, I remember that when that conversation started with me, there's no
Hmm.
fucking way I was forgiving anybody. You know what I mean? I'm like, fuck you, fuck your forgiveness, fuck your God, fuck it all. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just where I was at that point. And I believe God loves me enough that He knew exactly what I was going through. You know what I mean? And I remember having people telling me, "Oh well, if you gotta forgive Summer, or you're never gonna be forgived." And listen, when somebody's been through the shit, or even any kind of abuse or whatever, I ain't fucking worried about whether I can be forgiven or not. You know what I mean? I'm hurt. I'm upset. Now, what happened though is a seed was planted, and later on, probably a couple years later after that, then I was like, I was in a better place to where I could understand that healing and forgiveness has nothing to do with them. I don't have to go down and sit and have coffee with this person. I don't have to have a relationship with this person or anything. I can forgive you because I want to be released from the shit. But again, that comes with healing, that comes with trauma, because you get somebody that just is fresh into it or going through it, or the emotions are very, very real to them, and you're like, oh, just forgive. Fuck you. You want me to forgive somebody that hurt me? So, all that comes within time, big time. So that's just my experience, I guess.
And and I want to bring up because I mean, especially that you've been doing more of the verticals and people are going back into your page. Trauma counseling is different than just regular counseling. You know, I
100%.
understand it and you understand it, but there's a lot of people that don't understand it because there's a lot of counselors that do not know how to deal with this type of trauma.
100%. And that's why I tell people when I talk to them, or on here as we push the message out of healing, um, when you go and talk to people, ask the counselors, ask these therapists, ask them, are you trauma informed? If they are not trauma informed, thank them for their service and go find somebody that is. Because especially, just even if you're not a DV, human trafficking, whatever victim, like just 2024, dude, like just on social media, people could be traumatized. People see people on a live, this, that, whatever. So your own
Mhm.
personal shit that you've been through, like, you know what I mean? Like Christine said, most regular therapists, they're not equipped to deal with this kind of stuff. They don't understand it. They don't understand the Stockholm syndrome. They don't understand any of it. So when you go to somebody, and they'll do the best that they can, but if they're not trauma informed, meaning they are skilled and licensed in trauma, they understand what the frontal lobe does. They understand what the night triggers are. They understand all of it. And that's what you need to go to, because you know what I mean?
Yeah, because they all get their license, but there is extra classes specifically that certify in the trauma.
Yep.
And people don't realize it. I'll be honest, a lot of people don't realize that. That's why I wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. 100%. Well, I think it's been a good show. I just
It
wanted to
has.
come on and, guys, I only have Friday and Saturday to where I can actually sit down and do these kind of listening things. And thank you for everybody that supports me, that doesn't make fun of me and my sharing this, how I share the story out. I know it's fucking ghetto fabulous, but you know what? One day I'll learn how to do all this shit and I'll be better at it. So just stick with me, guys. Just stick with me. Um, but I want to say thank you to Christine for coming up and co-hosting with me. I want to thank Thomas and Christy and Shelly and Christine and
And
Chrissy.
Barbara and Chrissy, yeah, all those
Yeah,
people that love us.
everybody. Yes, 100%. Everybody that came through and stopped through and listened. Again, these videos will be shared on my community page. I please ask you, go listen to yourself. That way you can hear it when it's not speeded up and chopped down, and you can get a really good understanding. And both videos definitely have more to them than what I played. So, and make sure you like and subscribe. So, I think that's all I got. You got anything else, lady?
No, I'm good. I thought it was a very good time to listen to all this. Gosh,
Alrighty.
even me, I'm sorry,
Well,
it blows my mind, and it has to blow your mind. I'm just baffled. It blows my mind that, and like I told Christy earlier, it's about clout chasing. It's about the dollars, and there's too many unethical people out there. And this
mhm.
is going, and we're going to probably see more of this.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100% we're gonna see more of this. And that's what sucks, right? I mean, when you're dealing with court cases and shit like that, and especially you're dealing with national court cases, there's gonna be tons of people that are gonna try to ride the wave on it, get the money out of it, do whatever. You know,
Mhm.
that's like I was telling somebody the other day, excuse me, there's a Uber lawsuit going around, right? And if it comes up on like Facebook and stuff, and it says, "Do you want to earn some quick cash? Have you ever rode into Uber? You know, well, you can get sexual assault money or some shit like that." You know what I mean? And I was just
Mhm.
like, that kind of shit irritates me because that's what it promotes. It promotes people going, "Oh, well, you know, can't nobody prove it." You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, I can say this, I can say enough stuff to make it look like it happened. You know, and it's just frustrating. So yeah, we will see more of this. And I have always said I will believe victims, but when when there is holes or there's something that just don't feel right in my gut, yeah, I'm gonna do some more research.
Yeah.
And with this situation, like I said, I think baby girl definitely has some things going on. I think both of them got some shit going on. I think they're still in a victim mentality, to be honest with you. I believe that the re-exploitation can be some similar behavior as pimping, being pimped out. You know, so they definitely need to get some help. They definitely need to sit down and focus on them and truly be able to heal from the things that happened to them, whether it was involving Diddy or not. Um, but what I will not do, and what we will not do in this channel, or people around me, we won't make excuses for stupid shit. You know, and she's wrong for doing this. Both of these young ladies are very wrong for doing the shit and causing the confusion that they've caused. Um, so whether they're paid people that's gonna distract and disrupt some shit, or they really are victims that are just trying to be heard. Either way, it's not okay. So, any last thing you want to say, Christine?
No, I'm good. Thank you. And sorry for the
All right,
background
guys.
noise and everything else. I'd
No,
eat
it's
something
all
real
good.
fast too.
It's all good. It's all good. I ain't worried about it. Yeah, it's straight. But all right,
I do
y'all.
want to
Well,
say,
I'm gonna.
Thomas, hold on one sec. Thomas, I haven't seen you in a little bit, so it's good to see you come back in, and hope you're doing well.
Yes, most definitely. He hung out with us Wednesday too. He came in and said,
Oh,
"Hey."
did he?
Um, yeah.
Where was I?
I don't know. You might have been taking a break or
Oh,
dealing with the
that
grandbaby or
I was in and out. I had Little Miss and Bath and all those fun
yeah,
things.
yeah. All right, y'all. Well, we're gonna jump off.
Okay,
I just wanted to come on and do this show so you guys could be informed. Again, both of these will be on my community page, and you know how we gonna do it. We gonna keep bringing updates, and we're gonna keep going over this stuff because I want you all to understand this shit. Because the more we understand, the more children and people and men and women we can keep protected. So, all right, be a part
thanks,
of the
son.
solution, not a part of the problem. Holler at y'all later.
Bye.